The Cardinals won the toss and deferred, so the Detroit Lions will get the ball first. And there's Jamal Agnew, the All-Pro returner, back deep for the Lions. And Zane Gonzalez will start it off. Both teams finished last in their respective divisions. Cardinals were 3-13, had the #1 pick in the draft, and the Lions were 6-10. Fourth place in the NFC North. And the game is underway, and the Lions will start at the 25-yard line. Matthew Stafford coming off a down season for him, looking for a bounce-back year. But you look at his career, and the fourth most in the first 10 seasons all-time in career passing yards, in prime for a great comeback year, and he's had some big years himself.
There's no question about it. They really want to open this offense up, get some of those explosive plays that were lacking last year. Matthew Stafford's an elite-level thrower of the ball. They want more balance in this offense.
And he's got the rookie T.J. Hockenson in the lineup for the first play from the 25. And it'll be a pass to Kerryon Johnson, the running back out of the backfield. Led the team in rushing, but his season ended with a knee injury in week 11. The Detroit Lion offense and the tight ends may be the strongest of the team. Joe Dahl will start at left guard, and the offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell.
And Darrell Bevell is one of these guys they brought in here to calm things down, to get a little bit more under center, to run the football and give more balance to Matthew Stafford.
So after the 7-yard pickup on first down, they go to Johnson again. He'll get the first down and a few more as Kerryon Johnson out to the 41-yard line. Jermaine Brock on the stop and a gain of 9.
Love this tight end coming back in here, circling around, being the guy that's the lead. Right there at the point of attack, get underneath the pads of Walker, the linebacker, to open up that little draw right there. Lead draw, look at Johnson get through that hole, break that tackle. That's what they want from this kid.
Lions have the ball on their 41. And on first down, they go again to Johnson. But this time, the Cardinals are there and limit Johnson to about a 2-yard gain. That was Jordan Hicks, former Philadelphia Eagle, starting at inside linebacker.
Well, Terrell Suggs, the new addition here, and this guy, 17 years in this league, the consummate professional. And the things the Cardinals say about him is not only is he still great, he still is explosive, but he is an educator on the field. Like having another D coordinator on the field while they're out there brings so much to the Cardinals.
So Suggs and Chandler Jones, they're the edge men. C.J. Anderson comes in the game at running back. And the pass is complete to Kenny Golladay, who's the leading receiver last year and tied for the club lead with 5 touchdowns. Gets 8 yards on first down, or second down.
And they're feeling him out here. Darrell Bevell's one of these guys that scripts the first 15 plays, and it's all about trying to get information, right? You're trying to figure out exactly what they're in, and it's a fact-finding mission for this offense in these first 15.
Third down and 1. Here is Anderson, and he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A great stop, and Hicks again, the man in the middle for the Cardinals. A loss of 1, and the Lions will have to kick.
And you know what? It really starts right here. You get off this edge right here, you create a new edge, and it gives the running back no opportunity to cut back inside where all that flow is coming back from Hicks. Really nice job on third down, getting your defense off the field.
So Sam Martin will be kicking it away, and Christian Kirk is back deep for the Cardinals, and the fair catch at the 10. So Kyler Murray is going to have to go a long way. He's going to have about 90 yards. The #1 pick in the draft, 5'10". A lot of intrigue as to how this man will play in Chapter 1 of his career. It's been 65 years since a rookie started at quarterback for the Cardinals. Have to go back to 1954. And Kyler Murray is the kind of guy who lets his play do the talking. Doesn't like to say much, Mark.
No, he doesn't. But I'm telling you what, bundle of energy. And you want to talk about confidence. It's not arrogance. It's athletic confidence. He is supremely gifted, supremely talented, and really confident in his ability to play quarterback at this level.
Cardinals start from the 10, and they have 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right, as they spread it out. And Murray inside his 5, lets go of it, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Keyshawn Johnson. Look at the Cardinal offense. And by the way, Larry Fitzgerald now breaks another record, all-time franchise record for games played. His 235th, breaking Jim Bakken's mark. Second down and 10, and there's David Johnson. Gets a move and gets a first down. Broke a tackle, and a penalty flag is down. It'll be a 13-yard game pending the call, but it'll go against the Cardinals apparently.
Holding. Offense. Number 64. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
That's right guard J.R. Sweezy holding on the play.
Here's Sweezy right here. He's going to come off that ball. They've got a double team right there. Anytime you take a guy, and that to me is just dispensing justice. That's actually a really good block. But you have to understand how they call penalties in this league. And anytime you take a guy to the ground, the officials almost automatically throw the flag. They look at that like, that's a hold, man.
Of course, David Johnson could be a key figure of this offense when we talk about the ability to throw and the running ability by Kyler Murray. Here is Johnson again, and this time he is wrapped up just short of the 9. Will bring up third down and 11. And the rookie Jelani Tavai, who's starting in place of Jared Davis, the outstanding middle linebacker, inactive today with an ankle injury for the Lions.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. Everything run at the line of scrimmage. Not hurry up. Just get to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the defense gives us, and let's adjust accordingly.
Third down and 11. Gets protection. Pass is going to be caught. They'll be way shy of the first down, and it's going to be Damiere Byrd, the former Panther. So, quickly, do you see anything different from the Cardinals in this first series?
No, not really any different. It's just the tempo, being at the line of scrimmage. But Murray is one of those guys that just drives the football. Smaller, but deadly accurate, and the ball is quick out of his hands. I like the running game so far. We didn't see much of it in the preseason.
So there is Kingsbury and Murray talking as one of the best punters in the league, Andy Lee, kicking from the 5-yard line. Jamal Agnew backs up to his 30, and a great special teams play by the Cardinals, and no gain there. It was Trent Sherfield, and we'll see him a lot as a receiver with a great break. A 55-yard kick, -2 on the return. We'll be back with Stafford again at the helm. And the Cardinals' new defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, who had been the head coach of the Denver Broncos. And he is missing his 2 starting cornerbacks, Robert Alford and Patrick Peterson. And we'll see if Stafford takes advantage of that early. Play action for Stafford, and his pass is going to be caught by Hawkinson, the rookie tight end from Iowa, and a big gain. Now you know why the Lions picked him number 1. And into Cardinal territory are the Lions.
They're just going to run off coverage. TJ Hawkinson does a speed out right here. Look at him catch the ball. Puts Hicks in a problem position in trail. Doesn't have leverage over the top. This is one dynamic football player. He does everything exceptionally well. Blocking, catching the ball, can take it deep. He's one of those complete players.
28-yard gain to the 45 of the Cardinals on one play. Here's Johnson, and Kerryon Johnson picks up 5 yards on first down. So Robert Alford, the veteran from Atlanta, on injured reserve with a broken leg, but Patrick Peterson suspended until week 7 for performance-enhancing drugs. So the rookie Byron Murphy, who was a second-round draft pick from Washington, native of Scottsdale, at Saguaro High School, inexperience, could be a target today. It'll be second down and 6. Good protection, and the pass again intended for Hawkinson, and it's knocked away. Buda Baker had a chance at it, and it'll be third down and 6 coming up.
Wonderful job. DJ Swearinger right here gets the jam. Look at him break back this ground. Now that's a little bit away from the receiver right there from Matthew Stafford. Wanted on the inside shoulder, puts it on the back shoulder, which allows DJ Swearinger to get back into that play. Not known for his coverage. He's an in-the-box safety. That's a matchup that Detroit will want to get back to.
C.J. Anderson is in the backfield now, 3rd down and 6. Cardinal crowd is vocal here at State Farm Stadium. And here comes the blitz. And Stafford getting rid of it, and it's off the fingertips, incomplete. Intended for Danny Amendola, a new face for the Detroit Lions, and 4th down coming up. And Matt Prater stays on the sideline at this point, and they'll punt it away.
Yeah, it's all about getting pressure. Matthew Stafford in the shotgun, bring the linebacker. There's Hicks right there. Hurries up the pass, a little bit off on the out to Amendola, which falls incomplete harmlessly, and forces this punt on 4th down and 7.
Martin, his 2nd punt. Christian Kirk, and the ball will bounce and will be down by the Lions at the 1. So the Cardinals started their first offensive series from the 10, and they will start their 2nd from the 1-yard line. And right now, Kyle Murray is saying, give me a break. Give me some field position. He'll be coming out. Well, there's only one direction for the Cardinal offense to go after last season. That's why Kingsbury is the architect of this offense that he ran at Texas Tech. And Kyler Murray, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. 7-year recruitment between Kingsbury and Murray. And finally working together. This drive starting at the 1. And a keeper. And Murray will slide after picking up about 7 yards on 1st down.
The guy is full speed after about 2 steps. Kyler Murray gets him right back to the line. But here he is, faking that handoff, keeping it on the outside as that defense constricts to take care of David Johnson. Really nicely executed. And getting down to protecting yourself, that's an important aspect, and that's something that he is keenly aware of.
In motion is Johnson. And now 4 receivers, including trips to the left on 2nd down and 4. Is almost intercepted, and Rashaan Melvin had it and couldn't hold on. The veteran, former Raider, had a great chance for a pick right there.
And there's always one thing. Anytime you're inside like this, they always say you cannot let that DB cross your face when you're running a slant. They knew it was man-to-man coverage because the linebacker went out to cover David Johnson when they moved him outside the formation. You can't allow that to happen. That's a mistake by Christian Kirk.
Lowest 3rd down percentage as well with all their last places in the offense. And here comes pressure on 3rd down and 4. And Murray's pass will be caught, and it'll be a 1st down to Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk with a 1st down, a gain of 5 yards. That's all they needed to move the chains.
Really nice protection here. Christian Kirk redeeming himself, and I love this is a veteran quarterback move for the young rookie, is go right back to the guy who just ran the route poorly, give him an opportunity to redeem himself. Very nice effort by Kyler Murray.
Kirk suffered a broken foot in week 13. Pass is batted down, and that'll be a question a lot of people will be wondering about. 5'10" quarterback having his passes knocked down. Let's take a look at the Detroit Lion defense. More to Matt Patricia than what he is looking for, but they weren't bad last year at all. 10th in total defense.
No, they weren't. And Trey Flowers, you saw there from New England. He's a guy that's the consummate professional, can rush the passer, will play the run, unselfish. He's a guy that, to me, is a real linchpin to this defense.
2nd down and 10, and unable to get away. And coming in to make the play was Devon Kennard. So backed up against their goal line is Murray and the Cardinals.
Watch this right here, Sweezy. This is Sweezy getting a self-sack because he's going to try to help out. You see the walk-up right there. Now he's going to turn. Let me go help my guy. Uh-oh, there's little Kyler Murray right there. Let me try to dive over the top of his head. You're not quite athletic enough to make that move, J.R. Sweezy. That's the problem with a guy who moves around in the pocket. As an offensive lineman, you're just not quite sure where he's going to be.
Loss of 7, 3rd down from the goal line. So the Cardinals have not been able to see the light of day from their offense yet. And in the end zone, Murray And that pass may be intercepted. Let's see if it is by Tracy Walker. And it is. Tracy Walker with the pick. And a more experienced quarterback would throw that ball away without question.
You're outside the pocket. There's nothing to risk there. You've got to throw it out of bounds, live to fight another day. But nice job by Walker as Kyler Murray rushes out to the side. He's just playing. He's watching the quarterback's eyes, and he sees the receiver. Very nicely done.
And good footwork, too. And there is Keyshawn Johnson calling for the ball. And Tracy Walker, who's filling the shoes of Glover Quinn, no longer with the Lions, with a big interception. And it'll be Detroit first down at the 24. Big opportunity for the Lions.
We like to call that playing the sticks. You're just back there roving. You get a little bit beyond that first down marker. You know right where they have to throw the ball to get to it, and you're just baiting the quarterback. Please throw it. That's what Tracy Walker is saying. Please.
Stafford, and he's going to get down, and a low, loose ball. Ball comes out, and it was Rodney Gunter right there. No signal yet. Cardinals get it back on the fumble. Big break.
Ruling on the field.
And as you know, they review all
by the defense.
turnovers.
First down, Arizona.
That was Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones. What else is new with the Cardinals defense? Well, at least Murray will have decent field position when he comes out, his best so far. Sack, fumble, Cardinals ball.
And there's a reason Chandler Jones leads the league in sacks, 41 over the last 3 years. Watch his awareness, as wide as the widest. He's going to come in, out, and then he's back underneath right there. The tackle and the sack right there. It's just an unbelievable job of awareness, knowing where the tight end help could be, avoiding it, and then beating the tackle back to the inside.
13 sacks last year, one of the best pass rushers. So now starting from the 34-yard line, David Johnson with a nifty run out to the 40, picking up 6 yards on first down. Mike Daniels making the tackle, former Packer, and that's a strength for the Lions, is their defensive line. It'll be second down and 4 at the 40. Kirk goes in motion, and a handoff to David Johnson, and he'll be stopped a yard shy of the first down. There's Matt Patricia, and he's had some problems. Achilles tendon surgery this summer. He's been on a golf cart. He's been all over, just trying to, with his left leg, obviously, be in position to run his team, Mark.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. When you have to go behind the bench, you lose connection to your players, connection to your coaches. He really wanted to be on that sideline. He'll last as long as his leg will allow it. Third
down and 1, and there's Johnson is going to be stopped for no gain. And the Lions' ability to stop the run is impressive. A'Shawn Robinson was there to make the stop, and so it'll be 4th and 1. And after some thought by Kingsbury, the Cardinals will kick it away, and Andy Lee comes out.
It's a really nice job by the Lions after the turnover, getting a 3 and out, stopping the Cardinals with that field position, and just a great job at the point of attack defending the run.
Jamal Agnew. And this will bounce at the 5, and unable to keep it in the field of play are the Cardinals. Sherfield again, who made a fine special teams play earlier in the game, tried to save it, could not. And so the Lions, who had a great opportunity after a turnover in Cardinal territory, could not score. So the 6-10 Lions, Matt Patricia, the former defensive coordinator with the New England Patriots, Trey Flowers, who Mark talked about, Justin Coleman in the secondary, and Mike Daniels has already figured. Jelani Tabai started at middle linebacker today, but the key Darrell Bevell, run first guy in his philosophy. You know about Danny Amendola. As the Lions in a very tough, probably the toughest division in the NFC. On first down, C.J. Anderson gets a couple of yards. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thank you so much, Dick. So the Cowboys trailing 7-0. Dak Prescott looking for that new contract, finds tight end Blake Jarwin for that 28-yard score. We are all tied up at 7. Dick, Mark, and Jen.
All right, thank you very much, Carissa. Well, Giants and Cowboys, what a great history they have.
Absolutely. And how about the money that Jerry Jones has been spending on his players?
Yes.
Makes me want to come out of retirement, Dick.
Don't.
I won't.
2nd and 8. 4 wide receivers, and on the slant, the pass is going to be caught by Marvin Jones. Short gain. So it's been a struggle for Matt Patricia health-wise. For more, here's Jen Hale.
Well, Dick, I talked to Matt Patricia, and he told me he thinks he is mobile enough to get out of the way of the play if he needs to. The issue, as Mark alluded to, is pain. If it starts throbbing, he'll retreat to that Gatorade platform behind the water coolers. He called Sean Payton for some advice, because you'll remember Sean Payton broke his leg way back when. He will also summon players to that platform if needed.
All right, Jen, 3rd down and 4. And the crowd again, easy to be heard, empty backfield, and plenty of time, and the pass is going to be caught for the first down at the 40-yard line by Kenny Golladay. A 13-yard pickup, and with time like that, Stafford makes it look easy.
Well, Stafford really wanted to go to Danny Amendola right here underneath, but watch him work. Watch him work. He's double-teamed. He's bracketed. He comes off it, gets it back to Golladay on a beautiful throw. That's Matthew Stafford understanding my primary target, my 3rd down chain mover, Danny Amendola, is double covered. Let me get off that, get to the next guy. Wonderful job. That's why he's one of the better quarterbacks in this league.
So this run-first team basically has passed more than they've run so far, but it's close. On first down, and the quick pass is caught. And the pass grabbed by Amendola, close to a first down. And he has a first down for the Lions with Byron Murphy covering. So the rookie, Byron Murphy, going to be tested today without question mark.
And one of the reasons they're throwing the football right now, you just talk about an Arizona defense that's thin. Their 2 starting corners are out. You want to test the backup corners, but you also want to test the depth of the cornerback position. That's why you're seeing spread. That's why you're seeing a lot of 3 wides with Detroit early in this game.
From midfield, and here's Anderson. And Anderson, with a good run, gets to the 43 of the Cardinals. C.J. Anderson, who is the 3rd down back and really performed very well for the Rams after Todd Gurley was shaken up at the end of the year.
C.J. is just one of those guys. He's like a bowling ball of butcher knives. You know, he's kind of squatty. He doesn't look like he's in great shape. But this guy is the consummate professional when it comes from the neck up. He just understands every position. Really, really outstanding football player.
2nd down and 3. And the pressure on Stafford, who avoids it and is going to try to get as close as he can. Reaches out. Does he get first down as a result of that? And he may. Matthew Stafford, with that hand out, may have gotten the first down.
Well, pressure right off the bat here. Ragnow, the center, gets beat quickly. Look at Matthew Stafford getting to the edge with a burst to slow. There used to be a day where that would have looked a little bit better. He's just trying to look that sideline, find that first down, very casually flip that ball out. He does not want to do a lot of that today.
No.
Trust me on this one.
He's been under pressure somewhat today. Kerryon Johnson back in the game, tries a cutback and breaks a couple of tackles. And look at that 2nd and 3rd effort by Johnson. He ends up getting about 1.5 yards out of that.
Kerryon Johnson averaged 5.4 yards per carry last year. Really came in there and played exceptionally well. The issue with him, durability. Can he stay healthy? One of the reasons C.J. Anderson is here to kind of back him up, lighten that load a little bit in this dominant run offense. You know, it's a wide zone, find your hole, cutback type of run that Detroit wants to exploit.
Second down and 9. This could be the last play of the first quarter, depending on the call. Now there's the clapping. And that's interesting, and they're going to call a false start against the Lions, and that is the rule, and it went in because of Murray clapping several times in preseason. The rule is you've got to snap the ball on the first clap, and Scott Novak has called a false start. Aaron Rodgers was called for that in the opening game against the Bears last Thursday.
There is no flag on the play for a false start. Please reset the play clock to 40 seconds. 40 seconds.
I don't blame the crowd for reacting that way, Mark.
Right. If I'm Cliff Kingsbury, I'm livid right now. You basically took the clapping for the snap of the football out of our offense during the preseason. We didn't know about it. You took it out. Now we're sitting there saying we cannot clap. If we clap one time, it's got to be snapped. Did you count that? What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? I mean, how many claps do you get? The inconsistency is an issue with this league when it comes to officiating.
This is the end of the first quarter.
Well, that was strange, at least to the Cardinals. That's the end of the first quarter. Each team has a turnover, but there's no score. Nothing between the Lions and the Cardinals. And welcome back to kickoff weekend, and this the 100th year of the National Football League, and so many memories there. And Cliff Kingsbury a few moments ago talking to the referee Scott Novak, and we'll talk about that clapping situation. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Lions on the Cardinal 38-yard line. And here's Kerryon Johnson, and he picks up a yard. Dean Blandino is with us, and Dean, I thought if you clap, you got to center the ball. And that wasn't the case.
Yeah, so this has been a thing, obviously, in the preseason with Kyler Murray and the clapping. And what the league has said is if you clap and don't get the snap, it's going to be a false start. The one exception is when the play clock is running down and the quarterback is trying to get the football. So I believe that's why the flag was picked up, because if you go back, the play clock, I think, got down to 3 or 2 seconds.
All right, Dean, thank you very much. So, again, it's in the eye of the beholder a little bit. 3rd down and 8. And here comes pressure on Stafford, and Stafford is going to go deep to Galladay, and the pass is incomplete. Kenny Galladay was covered by Byron Murphy and covered well on that play.
Really nice coverage. There's a man indicator out there. Hicks runs out with the running back, and look at stride for stride, keeps engaged. We call that staying in phase. You're not hindering the wide receiver, but you have that feel. And when he reacts to the football, then you react to the football. Great job by the rookie, Byron Murphy.
And now Matt Prater is on to try a 55-yard field goal. He's hit a real long one at 64. This only 4 years ago, and this kick down the middle, and the kick is good. And the Lions take a 3-0 lead within a minute of the second quarter on the 55-yard field goal by Matt Prater. Lions break the scoreless tie on a perfect kick by Prater. 3-0 Detroit. Matt Prater's right foot puts the Lions in front, and he's used to long, successful field goals. That was the 47th time he has kicked a field goal from 50 or more yards. That's best among the active players.
That's what we call a weapon, Dick. That guy is a weapon. I saw him banging him 60 in pregame, no sweat.
For sure. Sam Martin will kick off. Andy Isabella, a rookie from the University of Massachusetts, poised to return from the 2. Isabella looking for running room, and a terrific tackle made by Jalen Reeves-Maybin. So Kyler Murray, let's check what he's done so far.
Well, the design run, Kyler Murray is one of those guys, full speed here in about 2 steps. Protect yourself, get down, but look at the awareness in the pocket, sliding up and over, and just an absolute cannon for an arm. But this is one of the issues when you're sitting in the pocket, the knockdowns, and then just throw it out of bounds. You can't make a decision late, coming back to your receiver. The one mistake Kyler Murray's made today.
So 2 3-and-out sandwich around an interception as you look at the quarterback comparison. Stafford off to a good start, and here is Murray. He's going to flip it to David Johnson, but there's a defender in its midst, and it's Christian Jones, the outside linebacker, who makes the play, and there'll be a minimal gain of a pair.
What a job by Christian Jones. You know, you're playing that feather technique anytime you run option, keeping your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, funneling out, staying outside on leverage, and forcing the running back to the help. Really, really nicely done.
Play selection about even here for the Cardinals thus far. Second down and 8. Murray with some time, and this pass will be batted again at the line of scrimmage. Deflected by Damon Harrison, so Snacks gets a piece of the football, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
And this is something you saw in the preseason as well. Anytime he's out of the pocket, he's a shorter guy. He sees it. You've got to find yourself a window. Snacks Harrison getting double teamed right there. He just stops his rush, and he eyeballs that quarterback. He says, I'm not going to get there with pressure, and I'm not a great pass rusher anyhow. Let me get my eyes on that quarterback, see if I can deflect this pass, which he's done now twice.
3rd down and 8. Back on the 18. Murray escaping pressure. Flag is down, and Murray is going to throw this one away. In the area where holding would be the call.
Holding. Offense. Number 74. Penalties decline.
Left tackle
Fourth down.
Jay Humphries, so 4th down. So the Cardinals will have to kick it again. They only have 1 first down so far in this game.
And I will tell you this, anytime you've got a quarterback like Kyler Murray behind you, one, he's obviously small, but you know he's elusive. And one of the things you want to do is just funnel. Don't grab, funnel. Let him avoid that rush. He'll see it.
Andy Lee kicking to Jamal Agnew. And this one will bounce at the 50 and go out of bounds. So the Detroit Lions will have good field position, leading 3-0. They'll be right around midfield when Matthew Stafford and company come out once more. '11th year for Matthew Stafford, and he led his team to the playoffs with great comebacks in 2016, and he had the higher passer rating of his career the next year, and then coming off a down year, and back problems really hampered him a year ago, and will have the Lions just on their side of the 50. Kerryon Johnson pushes the pile out for a gain of 3.
Matthew Stafford, obviously the back injury was big for him last year, although he wouldn't use it as an excuse. But you look at the lack of downfield targets, his yards per pass attempt dropped over a full yard, and a lot of it is because when you have that back, you can't create that rotational force. You can't drive the ball down the football field with accuracy. He's feeling much better this year and excited about this offense, this balance that it possesses.
2nd down and 6. Play fake to Johnson. Stafford gets out of trouble, and he has an open receiver, Danny Amendola. Amendola with a juke, and he scores a touchdown for the Lions. Wide open was Danny Amendola, and Matt Patricia knows all about him from the days in New England. Was with the Dolphins last year. A 47-yard touchdown pass from Matthew Stafford.
Just about the time we were talking about the deep ball right here, and Matthew Stafford, watch him inside this pocket. Watch his movement. He feels the rush right there, climbs the pocket, then he gets the hide route by Amendola down the sideline. Little juke, and the rest is history. Big time score. Wonderful job by Matthew Stafford finding the wide open Amendola.
And Matt Prater for the extra point. And the kick is good, so taking advantage of great field position, Stafford to Amendola, his first catch in the uniform of the Honolulu Blue and Silver, and the Lions lead 10-0. And we'll be right back after this message from Progressive. And we're back here in Glendale, Arizona, and Matthew Stafford, trying to have that bounce back year, found a receiver that he really couldn't miss.
Well, I really love the fact that here he is in the slot right here, and he's just going to get back down this side of the football field. But it starts with Matthew Stafford having eyes in the back of his head, and you get that little escape route, late route, you kick out, you help you move everybody to one side of the field, you slide out the backside. Danny Amendola, wonderful execution of that offensive play. That's a design play, too. It's not just a broke down play.
Short kick, and Andy Isabella returns it. And he gets it beyond the 20-yard line. D. Virgin making the play. So out comes Kyler Murray. 2 for 8 for 11 yards. Only 4 yards passing.
And this is exactly where you don't want to be. This offense, you do not want to be in a situation where you have to throw the ball. And you're down by 10. You haven't done anything so far. You feel like you're down by 20. And if you've got to throw the ball on every single possession, that's going to be an opportunity for the Detroit Lions to come after your quarterback.
From the 22, play action. And the pass is going to be caught. And Keyshawn Johnson makes the catch. Let's see what they spotted. It'll be a first down for the Cardinals. Rashawn Melvin defending.
Look at the accuracy. I mean, body mechanics. This is where baseball comes in. Being a middle infielder, your ability to throw from any platform. One thing Murray has a strength of.
Here's a fake and goes underneath. And let's see if that pass is caught or not. It is caught out to the 36-yard line by Larry Fitzgerald.
That's one of those. I'm not sure. Do I want to throw this? Do I not want to throw this? That it just comes out of your hand. Sure-handed Larry Fitzgerald.
228th consecutive game that he's caught a pass. And a timeout called by the Cardinals.
First charge.
So he's played in more games than any Cardinal in history. 228 consecutive games with a reception. And the beat goes on for 36-year-old Larry Fitzgerald, one of the classiest players in the NFL. Well, it's the dawn of a new era as WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Fox. The action's unleashed every Friday night beginning October 4th, only on Fox. It'll be 2nd down and 7 on the 37-yard line after the Cardinals called their first timeout of this first half.
I think one of the things that's interesting about Larry Fitzgerald, he's talking about this offense to us, Dick. He's saying how Kyler Murray's in complete total control, the precision of this offense, and how he's always looking to the sideline and to Kyler Murray.
On the keeper, getting pressure. And goes down. That'll be a big loss. Devon Kennard finally got to him. And initial pressure by Mike Daniels started it off, and an 11-yard deficit on that play will bring up 3rd and long.
Well, here he is, the breakdown. Mike Daniels chasing him out. He's got the escapability. You see the high step right there, but he runs out of room. Kennard gets him down on the ground. And again, how do we attack protection? That's what we're doing right here, attacking their protection, because when you're spread, and this is a problem with this air raid quote-unquote offense, you're going to give a lot of one-on-ones to the opponent, and that's what they've got right now.
They spread it out. They have a 3-man rush coming up here on 3rd down and 18, and the pass to Johnson out of the backfield, and he'll be tackled immediately and will be about 12 yards shy of the first down. Jamal Agnew, the kick returner. Crowd not happy with what they're seeing so far. Is this offense close to getting something going or not, in your opinion, Mark?
No, I think they've done a good job running the football, better than expected with their run, especially with their quarterback. But if you get out of that balance, again, Detroit will just continue to attack your protections and pressure your quarterback.
Andy Lee, who had a 33-yard punt, flag is down the last time, gets this one good to Agnew. Penalty flag is down, and Agnew is down as well, just shy of the 25. So Agnew's short kick gave the Lions their good field position when they got their touchdown. This one for 57. Penalty will be against Detroit.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 30. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Timeout.
D. Burgeon holding Stafford. Danny Amendola with the touchdown pass in his last series. Lions getting points in the last 2 times they've had the ball after the slow start. They begin on the 5. They were starting field position of the game. Double tight end formation. Kerryon Johnson. Not much there, loses a yard.
T. Suggs back in the desert. Really nice. Knifing underneath. He pressures upfield, but he knifes underneath the block. I tell you what, this guy has done it forever, 17 years. You know, it's not just his ability to pass rush, his ability to defend the run. He's just a football playing Jesse. You got to be excited about him if you're here in Arizona having him back.
Look at the crowd. Goes within a touch of Stafford, and he completes the pass to T.J. Hockenson. Well, Matthew Stafford has had more on his mind than football in the last few months. And for more, let's check in with Jen Hale.
Indeed, he has, Dick. Not only did he have his back issues, but his wife, Kelly, had to have a brain tumor removed. A 12-hour surgery that very possibly could have left her without her hearing. Thankfully, it went well. It was a success. She has her hearing. She did have to learn to walk again. So it has been quite an off-season, an emotional one for Matt Stafford and his wife, Kelly. But she texted him, "Are you excited?" "I am," in terms of this game. So that's a fabulous sign.
He knows where the priorities are. 3rd down and 1, and the slant pass to Marvin Jones. Good enough for the 1st down out to the 21. And Tremaine Brock, the former Bronco, was covering on the play. Tough to break up that pass. So that's really a dramatic story, and we talked with Stafford yesterday. Had a lot to say.
It puts so much of life in football in perspective. You know, Matt said, people give me like a lot of praise for being a tough guy and all the sacks and going out and playing. He goes, pales in comparison to what my wife has been through. It's just an inspiration for our family.
1st down for the Lions, who started the drive on the 5. Play action, and the open receiver is Hockenson. Hockenson into Cardinal territory and knocked out of bounds by DJ Swearinger. So there have been a lot of wide open receivers for the Lions here in the 1st half, and that's good for a 39-yard catch.
Yeah, and Hawkinson's going to come out, release out of the backfield, and then he's going to run what they call the over. And that backside hook player, 59, Walker, is responsible for that, and that's a mismatch right there. When you get Hockenson, the play action fake, there's another explosive play by this offense of Detroit.
Walker starting in place of Hassan Reddick, who was available in this game. He's been injured by a knee injury. And here is Stafford going to carry it and get a 1st down as he goes out of bounds. Talk about trickery. It's been the Lions more than the Cardinals so far. He gets 12.
Hey, Kyler Murray, anything you can do, I can do better. Come on now, stop it, you guys. Matthew Stafford running the zone. Reed right here sees the defensive end coming slamming down there, and he just says, I'll take that. Go ahead, get myself 10. Come on, Kyler, pay attention. Keep your vision on the old veteran right there.
I think he's worried about his next possession when he gets the ball. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. C.J. Anderson breaking a couple of tackles. Tough to bring down. He's strong, and finally Joe Walker with help from Budda Baker do it, but a gain of 5 for Anderson.
That's what C.J. Anderson does. No nonsense, sees that pitch, feels that alley, and then at the point of attack, go ahead, step on, get some. I'm telling you what, how about Budda Baker, though? Budda Baker, a little guy in that defensive backfield, 5'10", 195 pounds, but just brings a wallop. Nice, clean shoulder tackle by Budda Baker.
So the Lions threatening again. No field position this time. They've had to go a long way, but 2nd down and 5. And here is Anderson again, and he is stopped close to the 1st down by Hassan Reddick, who did not start, as we mentioned moments ago.
This is so typical of that zone blocking system. Press out wide, stick your foot in the ground, and get back in that backside hole, and C.J. Anderson just has a great feel. This is what they run with the Rams. He did that last year. Just a great feel for where those gaps are, where those creases are, and how to get positive yardage.
Lions need 1 yard. Third down. And here's Anderson. And he's going to be stopped for no gain. DJ Swearinger came in from the secondary, among others, for the Cardinals. So decision time for Matt Patricia. It'll be 4th down and 1 on the 19. And the Lions are going to go for it on 4th down. Now the official comes in and stops play momentarily. Had to get the attention of Stafford. And now the Cardinals jumped. Let's see if they were drawn offside.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's a rookie, Zach Allen. 3rd-round pick out of Boston College. So the Lions got it to work, and it's a first down.
Yeah, you know what? Don't bite the cheese. That's what they say, Rook. Don't bite the cheese. Matthew Stafford's like, would you go ahead and throw this flag right now? I mean, come on. Certainly got in that neutral zone. I mean, not only is he playing quarterback, he's directing the referees. I mean, this guy is getting it done right now. Running on the outside, throwing the ball down the football field, and, you know, begging for flags. Good for Matthew Stafford.
Well, experience dominating the inexperience. Lions and Cardinals in this first half.
Changing the play at the line of scrimmage right now.
Ball on the 14, first down. Here's Johnson outside. Flag is down. And good tackle is made by Byron Murphy. But another penalty thrown.
Offside. Defense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That was the 17-year vet Suggs. So another penalty.
So when Zach Allen jumps offsides, you rip him. When Terrell Suggs jumps offsides, you say that's okay, big fella, right? 17 years.
Don't worry about it.
You're allowed. The thing I like though on that, Byron Murphy, the other rookie out there, one of the things we're going to test, can you make a tackle? He rolls up there, makes a beautiful form tackle on the outside. 1st and 5 after the penalty.
Stafford gets time, can do what he wants, goes underneath, and walking in is Golladay for the touchdown. So the Lions exhibiting their experience, and the Cardinals at this point woefully inexperienced on both sides of the ball. And a 9-yard touchdown pass from Stafford to Golladay, who caught 5 of them last year.
Here he is. Now he's in chip, right? So you lose him. He's chipping. He's in there blocking. Late release. Everybody goes with the rest of the receivers, and that's like stealing. It's too easy right there for Golladay and Matthew Stafford.
Matt Prater for the extra point. And with 3:38 to go in the first half, the Lions have taken a 17-0 lead, going 95 yards on 9 plays for the score. Well, people affected by Hurricane Dorian need help now. And to support those impacted by Hurricane Dorian, text Dorian to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Hurricane Dorian Relief. Again, Dorian, 90999. And we appreciate your contributions. 9 plays, 95 yards. Stafford perfect on the drive, and a couple of penalties against the Cardinals hurt their cause in their own end.
Boy, 9 plays, 95 yards. You put a 95-yard drive together, that's like stepping on the windpipe of the opponent. And now, all of a sudden, think about the complementary nature of this game. What are you saying offensively to Kyler Murray? You're saying, hey, man, you got to go out there, scramble around. You got to throw us back into this game. Not the start, obviously, that Kingsbury is looking for.
Andy Isabella to return the kick, and he'll be able to. 2 yards in the end zone, but decides to take the touchback, and will take it out to the 25. Well, Hall of Famer Dick Night Train Lane played 6 seasons each for the Lions and the Cardinals between 1954 and 1965. As a rookie, the fearsome Lane set the NFL record for interceptions in a season with 14 in 1952, a mark he has held for 67 years.
Blatant disregard for his own body and the body of others. He would have been suspended for life if he played in the league today. Night Train Lane, oh, those highlights are great. I mean, that is just physicality at its best.
You know, we're looking at a Lion franchise that has been proud in the past, trying to get it going in the second year of Matt Patricia. Let's see if the Cardinals can get something going here. David Johnson with a carry. If you were the Cardinal offensive coordinator, what would you prescribe as a pharmacist right now?
Well, I mean, I think the big thing here is I like starting off with the run, slow this thing down a little bit. The problem with a rhythmic offense is it's really hard when you're out of rhythm to get back into rhythm because you can't line up in heavy and just say, we're going to cram it down your throat.
3 receivers on the left, and it's David Johnson again. And the Lions are just very tough at stopping the run. Cardinals have 24 rushing yards, and that time Jalen Reeves-Maybin was working alongside Jelani Tavai in place of Jared Davis. And the middle linebacking spot is theirs, bringing up 3rd and 7.
So you're in 3rd down and long here, and what do? You're going to play the chains, right? You're going to play some type of 2 deep, like a cover 2, play the chains. Don't let them get out there. Make them throw it underneath, rally up, and make a tackle.
You were an offensive player. You're talking defense here. And here is Johnson trying to get the yardage, and he does. And it'll be a Cardinal 1st down to the 37-yard line.
Well, that's exactly what they tried to do. They tried to make him throw it underneath. They did. Here's Johnson coming out of the backfield. He catches the football, and I mean, that is just a nice little dip inside. Get Diggs off balance, then cut back out, know where that 1st down marker is.
They're at the 36 right now. Hearing the 2-minute warning, and this pass will be knocked away, and it was intended for Keyshawn Johnson, and good play made there by Rashaan Melvin, breaking that ball up. 2nd down.
Well, he's got the one-on-one coverage on the outside. You see it right here. Now you want that ball more toward the sideline on the back shoulder fade. You see how forward that was? Get it to the sideline. Let your receiver spin around, get his hips and his shoulders around toward the sideline. So that's an inaccurate throw, something we haven't seen many from Kyler Murray.
6th round pick from Fresno State is Johnson. 2nd and 10. Murray's pass, and let's see. Incomplete is the call. Demir Bird juggling it, but defended by the veteran Darius Slade.
This is the 2-minute warning.
And the 2-minute warning here at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's been a terrific 1st half for that man, Matthew Stafford, and that man, Danny Amendola. The veterans doing the job for the Lions, who lead it 17-0. Well, we're indoors for the game, but outside it's 101 degrees. Still summer here in the desert country, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah, like an oven dry heat. But this is cool. I mean, the last couple of days have been in, 112, 113, somewhere in that range. So 101 is like, put on a parka for crying out loud if you live in Arizona.
Detroit Lions.
Arizona is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
So the Cardinals challenge, and of course they just got it in because the 2-minute warning was about to occur. So it was a challenge situation, not a booth review, to see whether that pass was caught. And now they say it's an official review, not a challenge. It was very close to the 2-minute time. And it was Demir Bird. Did he
get the 1st foot down? That's the 2nd foot is down.
And he had possession.
Right, you can't see it there. This is the look right here. That 1st foot, does that hit the line? Because he gets the 2nd toe tap in, which is exceptional body control. But I have not seen anything from those replays right there that would tell me definitively that his 1st foot was in.
Or to reverse the call on the field.
Exactly.
Dean Blandino, do you have a thought about this play?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's that 1st foot, the right foot at the sideline. And I haven't seen anything definitive to say it's inbound. So the call on the field was incomplete. And again, I'm with you guys. I think this has to stand.
After review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass stands.
You're right, Dean. And
Arizona will be charged with their second team timeout in the first half.
And so Scott Novak, by the way, this is his 5th NFL season, but his first year as a referee in the NFL. So the Cardinals lose a timeout and have one remaining here in the first half. Just under 2 minutes to go. Matt Patricia, the defensive mind of this team. 3rd down and 10. Ball batted up and drops incomplete. So that's about the 3rd time, and that was Christian Jones who got a hand on it. And the Cardinals will have to kick it again.
Well, as I said, anytime he stands in the pocket at 5'10", you're just going to have a little bit lower release, even though he's over the top right there. Murray doing a great job, just dominating the line of scrimmage, but defender gets his hands in the air, and that's another incomplete pass that's knocked down.
Andy Lee kicking to Jamal Agnew. At the 11, losing the ball. Cardinals get it back. And a penalty marker down as well. Trent Sherfield, he has been a whiz on special teams for the Cardinals. And of course they'll review it because it's a turnover. And we'll see if it stands. But right now the Cardinals would get the ball back at the 17-yard line if it stays. And the defensive unit is out there for the Lions. Agnew lost the ball, and that was a muff, not a fumble, because he never really had possession.
The ruling on the field was the punt was muffed and recovered by Arizona. During the kick, legal block in the back, number 27 of Detroit. That penalty's declined. First down, Arizona.
Well, a big chance for the Cardinals. They'll have it on the 8-yard line is where they'll spot the ball.
Sherfield has just been tremendous in special teams. You see the muff right there, but that's a guy that just got vision. He's beaten his man who's blocking him on the gunner position, getting down there. He has made 2 big-time plays on special teams today.
Cardinals 1 timeout left and a golden opportunity here. It'll be 1st and goal at the 8. First time the Cardinals have been in this glorious position on the field. And they need a touchdown more than a field goal. David Johnson will carry it to the 5. And David Johnson is stopped short of the end zone inside the 1-yard line. Condre Diggs made a fine play to keep Johnson out of the end zone.
Well, there is this offense in a nutshell. That handoff, that delay right here, you just run it, run it, run it. It makes all the defenders stop their feet, and then it's just a foot race to the corner. Diggs saving that touchdown. What a remarkable effort. But his feet were stopped because of that mesh between quarterback and running back, and it was that cleared the space for Johnson to get to the corner.
You got 7 yards, so it'll be
is being reviewed.
2nd and goal to 1, and they will review this as well. Booth review inside of 2 minutes, and we're going to take a break here. Cardinals trying to get into the game and trailing 17-0. Last play stands. Johnson was knocked out of bounds just inside the 1. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Murray being chased, and Murray flag is down as Murray goes out of bounds. Will have lost a yard on the play. Chased by Devon Kennard, a Phoenix native.
And that's getting cute right there. Bring 7 offensive linemen into the game.
There is no foul for an illegal formation. Number 52 of the offense reported as an eligible player. Third down.
So you bring 7 offensive linemen in. Every one of the guys you have dressed is in there. You got the hog mollies in there. You're showing that big look. And then you run a little option out there, speed right option. You've got one offensive lineman trailing down the sideline.
52
one short.
is reported as eligible. Number 52.
Just cram it down somebody's throat. Right?
Mason.
If you're going to line up big, cram it down somebody's
Third
throat.
and final
Mason Cole
for the first half.
reports
Be a 30
as an
second
extra
timeout.
offensive lineman. And the Cardinals have used their last timeout with 1:26 remaining. And right now, let's check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll have all the highlights from this first Sunday of action in the new NFL season, including the Bengals and Seahawks, plus the Colts playing in their first contest without the newly retired Andrew Luck while they visit the Chargers. Don't go anywhere. The Visa Halftime is next.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. I think they've got 2 downs to get this touchdown. They've got to go for it on 4th down if they don't fail here.
I'm 100% with you in agreement. But again, let's not get cutesy, right? This is the NFL. Let's go ahead there and shorten somebody's neck down here. 1 yard to go. Now you've scrambled out there. You didn't have yet one receiver that was running the back line was Mason Cole. He's 330 pounds. I mean, you know what? If you're going to bring it in, let's bring it in and let's try to physically impose our will against the opponent. I just don't like that at all.
They lost a yard on that last play. They spread it out on 3rd down. It's a pass, and it's knocked away, incomplete. And a good break up there by Justin Coleman on Larry Fitzgerald. And it'll be 4th and goal, and they're going to bring the field goal team on right now, trailing 17-0.
And this another late ball right here, back shoulder. You see that? You got to put that ball in the breadbasket in front of your receiver. It's behind Larry Fitzgerald, which allows the defender, Justin Coleman, 27, to get in on the play.
Zane Gonzalez with a 20-yard field goal attempt. And Gonzalez kick is good, and the Cardinals get 3. I was calling for the touchdown attempt when you're down 17-0, but they got to get on the board some way.
I can't tell you how much I dislike what we just watched, getting that turnover that close and coming away with 3 points.
So it's been a turnover for the coach and the quarterback here in Arizona. They believe they found their tandem of the future a year after they thought they had the same idea. They hired Steve Wilks to replace Bruce Arians and then drafted Josh Rosen. And after the season, they moved on from him, hired Cliff Kingsbury. Past April, they used the #1 overall pick on Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray and traded Rosen to Miami. And the Cardinals are the first team in NFL history to hire a new coach and draft a quarterback in the top 10 in back-to-back years, trying to get it right, so to speak.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, you're all in right now. And let me tell you about Cliff Kingsbury. There are a lot of people, the old school NFL types, they cannot wait to see this fail. And you know what? He's making their wishes come true right now, because that last series, that was pathetic. That's not NFL football, and you've got to get together here and make sure you change what's going on.
And they're going to let this sail out of the end zone. So what is Cliff Kingsbury's response to that, knowing that there are people who want to see it? Okay.
Cliff, he said, hey, listen, man, I'm okay. I talked to him before the game, and I told him, hey, you know people are rooting against you. He's like, hey, that's what makes this a competition. That's what I love. He's up for it. I really like Cliff Kingsbury. He's all football, but there's a feeling out process that's going on right now, and he understands in this league it's more about the Jimmies and Joes than it is the X's and O's. But like I said, you can't run 7 offensive linemen out there and have a 300-pound lineman running the end trail as one of your eligible receivers.
You're upset over that last series.
You need to score.
As a football guy, you're right.
You need to score a touchdown there.
Lions have 3 timeouts left, all of them, and Stafford under siege and gets rid of it. And the pass is incomplete. Gunter putting the pressure on. Time for a game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Mark's very upset. Here, Mark, I'm going to cheer you up. Cowboys 14-7. 2 guys making a case for new contracts. Dak Prescott connects with Amari Cooper for this 21-yard score. Dak's 3rd touchdown pass of the first half. Cowboys lead this one 21-7 at the half. Dick, Mark, and Jen.
All right, thank you, Carissa.
Well, I just hope they have enough slices of pie out there to get everybody paid, right? Isn't that the key?
Mark, I'm glad we're going to halftime soon, so you can calm down.
Right, exactly.
1:13 on the clock, second down and 10. Stafford's pass, and it's caught by Danny Amendola, short of the first down. 1:07 on the clock. It'll be third down and 2. Amendola catching a touchdown pass, a 47-yard play for the first TD of the game. Third down and 2. And the play blown dead, and there'll be a flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Taylor Decker, the left tackle. So instead of third down and 2, it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Lions.
And that's what happens. You get a little antsy out there. You got Chandler Jones on one side. You got T. Sizzle on the other side. You know, that'll make you jumpy in these sure passing situations, third down and long. It makes you nervous.
Another penalty marker down, and this pass will be incomplete. Marvin Jones, and covered well downfield by Byron Murphy. He's done pretty well, knowing that he was going to be picked at.
Defense, number 55, in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So Chandler Jones in the neutral zone. Of all people.
Yeah, antsy on both sides right here. He sees the movement of the center as he gets ready to snap the ball. You know he's jumpy. 13 sacks last year. He's got more sacks than anybody else in the league over the last 3 seasons. That's one way you get him, right? You jump the snap count. And every defensive lineman, the first guy off the ball is usually your best pass rusher. That's what he's trying to get to.
So now they're back marked to 3rd and 2, where they were a little while ago. And this pass out on the flat is caught by Hockenson or Amendola. And it's going to be a first down. Amendola with a 9-yard reception.
Really nice protection, blitz pickup. DJ Swearinger comes on the blitz. They get that all timed up. Stafford delivers on target.
And a first down with 38 seconds on the clock. Overthrown to Amendola. 35 seconds remaining. And we talked about, Jen Hale did a report on Matthew Stafford's wife Kelly, who's had surgery for a brain tumor. And today I read a beautiful column in the Detroit Free Press by Mitch Albom, one of the great writers of our time, who really chronicled it beautifully. Get a hold of that, I'd read it. 2nd and 10. Lions still have all of their timeouts left. And good pressure on Stafford that time. Pass is incomplete, 3rd and 10. Chandler Jones getting in there.
Chandler Jones coming off the edge. That's a great setup. Outside, inside, swim move, getting to Matthew Stafford. You've got all the time in the world here. 31 seconds. You've got 3 timeouts. And honestly, you need about 8 yards. No, a little bit more, about 18 yards to have a chance to kick a field goal right here at 60 yards. So you just got to get into that territory.
3rd down and 10. Good protection for Stafford, and his pass is going to be incomplete. Amendola downfield. And 4th down coming up, and the Lions will kick with 26 seconds remaining. And the Cardinals are out of timeouts. So Stafford now has completed 13 of 20 from 200 yards. Pretty good for a first half. And has thrown 2 touchdown passes. They've got 2 turnovers, but he wasn't involved in this. Christian Kirk, number 14. And once again, good special teams play made by Jalen Reeves-Maybin. He's been on a few. Want to remind you the Visa halftime report with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Tony coming up momentarily. Andrew Luck retired, and the Colts going without him against a contender with the Chargers. A rough debut, at least as far as the first half is concerned, not only numerically but on the field as well. I think work in progress is a term that might fit here.
Hand the ball off and get out of here.
Chase Edmonds with his first action of the game will run the clock out. And the Lions taking a 17-0 lead, and the Cardinals having to settle for a field goal after they had first and goal at the 1. And that's it. 17-3 Lions lead the Cardinals at halftime. And we now go to Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles for the Visa halftime, which starts now. And that was today's game flow, brought to you by Progressive. So at halftime, the Lions lead the Cardinals 17-3. Cardinals will get the second half kickoff, and the Lions have dominated it on both sides of the ball. Their defense has not allowed a touchdown. Stafford has had a good, and it was a good balance. But I want to talk about the Cardinals because this was the unveiling of this new offense with Kyler Murray, and your thoughts on it.
Yeah, exactly. It was this secret offense, and to this point, it's still a secret to America because we don't know what it is right now. Tempo is part of this offense. Tempo is something you've got to take advantage of, and they have not taken advantage of that tempo. You want to get the defense on its heels, but this defense has played on its toes, and they have done a great job of taking the pressure and taking the game to Kyler Murray and this offense. Right now, it leaves a lot to be seen because this offense has been nothing short of pathetic so far.
13 of 20 for 200 for Stafford, 6 of 16 for 41 for Murray. Murray has thrown a pick. Stafford a couple of touchdown passes. Arizona 58 yards total offense. Andy Isabella, second-round draft pick from the University of Massachusetts. And a good return by Isabella out past the 30-yard line. And we check in with Jen Hale.
Dick, Cliff Kingsbury agrees with Mark's assessment of that first half. He told me, he admitted to me, hey, we're lucky to still be in this, and that's only because of our defense. He sat Kyler Murray down at halftime, tried to settle him in. The plan this half, go back to some things that Kyler Murray had success with in practice to keep him comfortable and just do something to sustain drives and hopefully find that rhythm that they've been lacking.
All right, Jen, that was a 32-yard kickoff return by Isabella. And the Cardinals will start here. And here is a fake handoff. And Murray's pass off the hands of David Johnson. Incomplete. The Arizona offensive production, not much. Wide receivers, only 3 catches for 14 yards. They were 2 for 9 on third downs.
They have to continue to attack this defense, and you can't be behind the chains. You're second down and 10 again. It's really harder to attack them with the running game. Get to the edge, give that run option, you know, that zone read with quarterback and running back. They've got to get some production out of the running game, take some pressure off of young Kyler Murray.
Murray going to be dragged down by Jahlani Tavai. Starting today, the second-round draft pick from Hawaii. They've eased him in. And Tavai starting in place of Jared Davis makes a big play.
This is it right here. What we talk about, attacking protection. You know, cross blitz right there between center and running back. They don't get it picked up. That's how you attack a protection. There's confusion up front. Center's got to take number 1. Running back has to adjust. They don't have it tied together. And now, what are you, third down and forever out of this offense that hasn't produced at all.
Third sack, loss of 11. Third and 21. They're going to get some of it back. Keyshawn Johnson stopped at the 28-yard line, but the Cardinals can't get it going here in their first series of the second half and have to kick it again. It's been a tough first game thus far for Cliff Kingsbury and company.
Another 3 and out, and you know the complementary nature of football. What does that do? Well, your defense has played pretty good. in this 17-3 ball game, but there comes a time when they've been on the field too much, they're going to get exhausted.
Andy Lee. Jamal Agnew, who mucked one, makes the catch and is slammed down hard. And a terrific play made by the Cardinals. And it was Ezekiel Turner who made the terrific play. Matthew Stafford's having a marvelous first game thus far. Will bring his offense out again, leading by 14. Matthew Stafford was the first overall pick, and he really had a rough time in his debut, so he knows what Kyler Murray's going through. But today it's been a different story as Stafford has been sailing along with success. Kerryon Johnson with a nifty first down as he turns the corner. Penalty flag down. And it will go against the Lions, apparently.
Holding. Offense. Number 60. 10-yard penalty.
That's
First
the
down.
right guard, Graham Glasgow, who was the center last year. Well, we've been talking about the Cards' #1 pick. How about the Lions' #1 pick? He's done well, too, the tight end.
Yeah, best tight end in the draft. Runs exceptional routes. Got very fluid hips. Catches the ball well. He's a great blocker, too. Here you see him just on the over route, beating the linebacker in trail, in coverage. Look at him open it up right here. Big 6'5". He is a complete player at the tight end. He can play the in line. He can play out from the slot. He can play outside the numbers. Really an outstanding player.
And they really have strengthened that position very well. Jesse James, the former Steeler. And here getting out of trouble is Stafford as he slides to a stop at the 29. Logan Thomas, the former Bill. There's Jesse James, former Steeler. So the great additions at tight end, a big plus for the Lions offense, and that's really plays into Darrell Bevell's hand.
It does, and it's a real upgrade personnel-wise for this Lions team, and it gives them the opportunity to create versatility, to show a run formation, still be able to throw out of it, almost to dictate to the defense, and vice versa, show a pass formation and be able to run out of that. So it's a really nice weapon to have.
Second down and 14. Stafford is knocked away. And let's see if the Lions have recovered. Cardinals pointing their way, and it was Terrell Suggs who made the initial hit.
Fumble on the field recovered by Detroit. Third down.
But it was the center, Ragnow, who made the recovery. And the Lions very nearly coughed it up for a third time.
And here he is right here, right? T-Sizzle off the edge versus Decker. First step quickness, press upfield, get underneath, and I'm telling you what, he's got that ability to dip, still at this age, to dip underneath that block and explode out toward the quarterback. T-Sizzle, just a remarkable player.
Third down and 20, J.D. McKissick with his first appearance, recently signed, and the screen pass to McKissick, and McKissick with the run after the catches was stopped about 8 yards shy of the first down by Chandler Jones. For a game break, here's Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. So the Bucs leading the 49ers 13-7 early in the second when Jameis Winston's pass intercepted by Richard Sherman returned 31 yards for the score. 49ers leading this one 20-7 midway through the third. Dick?
Trying to take a 1-0 lead. Thank you, Carissa's on the road. Christian Kirk, fair catch. Flag is down to 23. And the penalty marker way back at the 25. It was 4th and 7, by the way. If that penalty is against the Cardinals, could be a factor, or at least make it 4th and short.
They ran into Sam Martin. I believe it's probably going to be running into the kicker, which is a 5-yard penalty.
Running into the kicker on the defense. Penalty's been declined. First down. Timeout on the field.
Well, Kyler Murray coming out again. Cardinals still looking for their first touchdown of the new year. Well, the early returns are not good for the Cardinals after last in points rushing yards, passing yards, and total yards last year. This is what they've amassed. This is just the first chapter, but it's a sad face indeed thus far. But that's the story to this point. We're still early in this third quarter. Ball is on the 24. Longest game from scrimmage is 12 yards for the Cardinals today. By that man, David Johnson, as he picks up 3.5 on first down. A'Shawn Robinson tackles him.
Here's the deal. You get yourself into a situation where you run the ball, you slow the tempo of this game down a little bit, you slow yourself down as an offense, you score a touchdown, you're right back in this. You're a one-score game if you can just put a drive together right here.
That's the good news for them, and that's the one bright spot you could say. And there's the pass, and it's going to be thrown behind Christian Kirk, bringing up 3rd down and 7.
And I don't know if this is just nerves. I mean, I understand what it's like to start your first game in this league, and it is a nerve, kind of just a complete nervous situation. But this is a kid who has been deadly accurate throughout his college career, deadly accurate throughout the preseason, and we've seen him throw balls that are completely misplaced. Missing his target by a yard or two on a consistent basis so far.
3rd down and 7. Murray in trouble. And he fires a duck that goes out of bounds and bringing up 4th down. So that time the protection didn't keep the Lions out enough to get anything going. Good quarterback pressure by Kennard.
And here's the thing that shocks you. As a kid that has always been able to outrun the opponents, you get to the NFL, you know what everybody is? Fast. There's not one guy that isn't. And we've seen him be challenged from a speed standpoint on the edge today.
Andy Lee, active. Flag down, active on the return. And he's tackled at the 39-yard line pending the penalty. Murray and Kingsbury. Obviously frustration on both sides. Kingsbury's the coach, so he's got to keep it steady for Kyler Murray. I don't know how many times Murray has been in this situation, Mark.
I mean, think about it.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 30. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
D. Virgin was holding.
Timeout.
It's a good question. He's won. He never lost in high school. Won in college. Struggling now.
A lot of long faces on the Cardinal side. There's Kyler Murray with Christian Kirk. They played together when Murray was a freshman quarterback at Texas A&M. Larry Fitzgerald puzzled as anyone else. First down on the 20-yard line. And Kerryon Johnson tackled from behind by Hicks. Good play by Hicks. And a loss of 2.
Well, this Arizona defense is bringing energy. They're bringing, some aggressiveness behind the line of scrimmage, pressuring Matthew Stafford. Those tackles behind the line of scrimmage there by Hicks. I think it's the second one.
There you see, though, the total yardage story. And Vance Joseph's team hung in there, the defensive unit.
They really have. Outman, playing backups. They've really played exceptionally well right now.
2nd down and 12, empty backfield, a lot of receivers. They put pressure on, making Stafford have to ad-lib, and he does effectively to Kenny Golladay with a completed pass and flag down behind the line of scrimmage. That game was good for 17. Scott Novak.
Holding. Offense. Number 68. Half the distance to the goal. 2nd down.
That's on the left tackle, Taylor Decker. And a game break coming up. Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Dick. So the Cowboys up 21-10 against the Giants when Dak Prescott will find Randall Cobb for this 25-yard score. Dak's 4th touchdown pass of the day, tying a career high for him. Cowboys leading 28-10 with a little over 4 minutes left in the third. Dick?
All right, Carissa, and there's just under 9 minutes to go in the third here. It's second down and 21. And the quick is out to Marvin Jones. And he's not going to get much. Tackled at the 13-yard line. This has been an aggressive team. They haven't missed many tackles. They've been right on the Cardinal defense.
They really have. They've tackled exceptionally well. They have been running and rallying to the football even when they give up big plays. And think about this. The 2 touchdown throws were 2 busted coverages. One on a sneak play that across the field to Dan Amendola, and then one on a delay by Galladay where he was blocking, and then they lost sight of him, and then he crossed the field. So other than that, the 2 kind of almost trick plays, if you will, this defense has been outstanding, like I said, with backup players that have replaced starters.
Third down and 17, inside his 5. The pass is caught by McKissick out of the backfield, but he'll be short of the first down by about 5 yards. As Jordan Hicks, he's played an active game. Tremaine Brock as well. Gain of 12, and the Lions will have to kick it away. McKissick, by the way, who played for Darrell Bevell with the Seahawks, good receiver, and as time goes on, should figure more prominently in their attack.
Not only in the running game, but mostly as a receiver out of the backfield, but he can also run every route as a wide receiver, so he gives you versatility, and that's one of the things this coaching staff really loves about him.
Martin kicking. Kirk is going to let it bounce, and it goes out of bounds. Cardinals will have decent field position. So when you're Larry Fitzgerald and you're 36 years old, you've got to be a guy that encourages people, and that's what he's doing for the rest of that offense backfield right here. Well, this is a way of saying it. Murray's in good company right now. Quarterbacks drafted first overall, if not one, in their first career start since 2003 when David Carr in 2002 won. Baker Mayfield started the week after he came in and led the Browns off the bench. And here is David Johnson, who has right now the longest run from scrimmage of 18 yards as Coleman and Diggs combine to make him stop.
Just a zone read right there, really nice at the point of attack. A.Q. Shipley, the center, getting some movement. That's how you have to start the drive.
On the 48 of the Lions, and airing it out, and there is Kirk. He had a chance for it, but that pass was high, and no way that was going to be complete inbounds, and that will bring up 2nd and 10. And that's, I think, the first time we've really seen him air it out today.
Air it out, and had the wide open receiver right there in the hole between safety and cornerback. And once again, we've seen this a couple of different times, just an errant throw right here. That's one you just get excited about, right? Just over the outstretched arms of Kirk. Oh, so disappointed right there.
And he's been known for his accuracy. That's been one of the big pluses for him. So it's 2nd and 10. Not so thus far. Here's Johnson. He'll pick up a couple, bringing up 3rd and long. Harrison is there on the tackle, but you could have an unmistakable air of disappointment in the crowd here. There's no buzz at all. So much was anticipated. I'm not sure the fans said, well, we got a new offense, a new quarterback, and we're going to whiz to victory. It doesn't happen when you're 3 and 13. But they really haven't had any spark to this point.
No, they haven't. An offense is all about rhythm, creating that rhythmic nature to it, and they have not found any rhythm at all afternoon. 3rd down and 8.
Murray completes the pass to the 30-yard line to Keyshawn Johnson, the rookie from Fresno State. 16-yard gain and a first down, and now we hear more than a murmur from this crowd here.
You get saving time, getting yourself, buying some time. This is a broken play right here. Look at him slide to the left, find his receiver coming back over the middle on an in-crossing route. Beautifully executed, and that's extending the play, giving yourself an opportunity.
Longest pass, Mark, and Chase Edmonds is in the game out of the backfield, and they go underneath to Larry Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald is going to get to the 24-yard line. So there'll be 2nd down and 4. Now the crowd beginning to come alive as we wind down to 5 minutes remaining in the third.
And you have to know, if you're Arizona, guys, if we put one score and drive together, we're right back in this game. Our defense is giving us an opportunity. Let's not let them down. And that's what Kyler Murray is talking about. That's what they talk about on the sideline. The way Larry Fitzgerald is leading them, that's what's going on right now.
Second down and 4. They come up with pressure, picked up, and here's the pass into the end zone. Incomplete. Kirk was well covered down there by Justin Coleman, former Seahawk, who had a pair of pick sixes 3 years ago.
And it's the inside receiver right here, Kirk, getting off. We're just in man coverage right here, safety over the top, but that's a wonderful job. Staying in phase, staying in contact, not interfering with the receiver, but just keeping your hand on that wide receiver, making sure you know where he is, and then when he goes up to play the ball, you play his hands. Wonderful job by Coleman.
3rd and 4. And they move Johnson into the slot to the left, showing pressure. Murray's pass knocked away, and no flag. A textbook defensive play made by Condre Diggs on that pass.
Right up top here, that's Murray. Good hands. I don't have a problem with that. Melvin, excuse me, that's Melvin. A little pressure right there.
And a field goal try coming up. It'll be a 42-yard attempt. Zane Gonzalez hit his first from 20 yards out. And here is Gonzalez's kick. And the kick is good. So the Cardinals, that's their best drive of this game, but it ends up with a field goal. And it's now 17-6 in favor of the Lions. And Murray visibly upset, not getting more. And we'll be right back after this message. No, we have a game break. Kurt Menefee, please.
All right, Dick, you know, a lot of players didn't play during the NFL preseason, but Ezekiel Elliott was the only one who spent it in Cabo. Maybe we should all go with him next time. 10 yards on the run. Dallas rolling over the Giants right now, 35-10.
Thank you, Kurt. Cut your time a little bit with a late throw, but he'll forgive me.
Yeah, for sure. No question about it. He's right. Ezekiel Elliott, we should all go to Cabo. Crying out loud. Let's back the plane right now. Go.
Last drive, 42 yards for the Cardinals. The first 10. Net of them 58.
This Cardinals offense was wishing it was in Cabo for the first 3 quarters of this game.
No question about that.
Put a couple of big plays together. A nice run by David Johnson, a throw over the middle to Keyshawn Johnson. And next thing you know, you're kind of right back in this game.
Agnew at the 8. And down he goes at the 18-yard line. Well, start Saturday strong with Big Noon Saturday as number 6 Ohio State faces Indiana, followed by a Pac-12 Big Ten matchup between Arizona State and Michigan State. And finally, it's a primetime showdown as Jalen Hurts leads Oklahoma, ranked number 5, against UCLA. Catch it all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. And by the way, they'll be interested in that game, OU against UCLA. And how about Jalen Hurts picking up right where Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield left off with Norman, Oklahoma.
He's been tremendous in the first 2 games so far of the college football season.
First down. Stafford on the screen, and a good catch by Nick Bawden, who's the fullback, not able to go anywhere.
Yeah, throw it to the fullback every now and again on a flat, right? Just get him out there in the flat, throw it to him, let him stumble around a little bit, just show that you have one. I mean, that's what you're doing right there. Give the big guy give him a little love. I don't think he gained. Did he gain any yards? I don't think he gained a yard. No.
0.
Okay, but he's got to catch.
You would have fallen down too after that.
Yeah, lighten up the fantasy board. I wouldn't have, first off, I'd have dropped it. I wouldn't have caught the thing.
Second down and 10, Amendola lines up to the left. And Amendola will have the first down. And out of bounds. So the offense has been meticulous for the Lions today. They got 15 on that play.
Little combo route down here at the bottom. TJ Hawkins is going to clear out to Danny Amendola. And listen, if you're Suggs, you're like, hey, man, my job is not to be out here in the flat covering Danny Amendola. My job is to rush the left tackle and put pressure on the quarterback. Please, let's not call that one again.
Leads the team with the 5 receptions. First down on the Lion 33. Ty Johnson is in the game, and his first NFL carry. Johnson, the rookie from Maryland, 6th-round draft pick. So with Johnson, C.J. Anderson, McKissick, and Ty Johnson, Darrell Bevell has the running backs he needs to get it done.
He certainly does, and this is a nice, calm-down drive. We had a couple of penalties that thwarted the last couple of drives for the Lions. So let's mix it up. Let's run a little bit, dump it in the flat to the fullback, dump it over on a little out route. It's about a 7-yard route to Amendola. Let's get ourselves in a bit of an offensive rhythm and keep this defense on the football field and that offense off.
Play fake to Anderson on 2nd and 4. Downfield, and Hockenson is there to make a good catch. He had to move to make that play, and he was well covered, and Hockenson with the reception and picks up 24 yards.
TJ Hawkins, just amazing. He's going to motion across here, and then he's going to come back on an over route. So he goes across one way, fake the run on the play action for Matthew Stafford. Now you're going to come on the over route right here. Look at him lean back into the DB, get a little bit of a push off, and then that's Chris Jones. And then that ball behind him still has the concentration to bring that thing in. Wonderfully executed by the rookie TJ Hawkins.
Over 100 yards in his first NFL games as C.J. Anderson cuts off to the right. So how about Hockenson? 4 catches, 101 yards, and his longest reception was 40. And already paying dividends for this team, and people around the league kind of knew he would.
Right, he's making that play over the top with the catch, making a nice adjustment to the ball, and then all of a sudden you line him up in line and say, hey, be the lead blocker on this one. You need to seal the edge on a C.J. Anderson run. He has got versatility. He can do it all. He's not afraid to mix it up on the end of the line of scrimmage.
Lions on the Cardinal 34, 2nd down and 7. Ty Johnson back in. Big handoff, and off the hands of Amendola, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down.
I love that. That's the veteran quarterback right there, Matthew Stafford. He sees Swearinger coming off the edge. Matthew Stafford's like, hey, listen, I'm not taking one of the teeth. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. If we complete it, great. If not, it's all right, but I'm getting out of harm's way. Danny Amendola just over the outstretched fingers of Danny Amendola on that. But that was about protecting yourself, keeping this drive alive, 3rd down and short.
Either team has done well on 3rd down conversions. Lions need 7 here. And the pass will be caught. And Jesse James with his first reception of the game. One of those 3 new tight ends on the team. And Hockenson and James both paying dividends, 15 yards here.
You're just coming in on an in-cutting route. Look at him get his head around. Right now, he knows he's the guy. He's going to be wide open between coverage and zone. That's just, I mean, that's too easy right there.
First down, of course, inside the 20.
Love the tight ends, the multiple tight end formations, exposing this defense in the passing game with those tight ends.
8th play of the drive. C.J. Anderson, a yard. Jordan Hicks played a good game, and the Hicks, former Philadelphia Eagle, has been solid for the Cardinals.
He's been great, but you know what? When you start seeing guys with the hands on the hips, breathing hard on the defensive side of the ball as they have to cross over to the other side of the field at change a quarter, you know these guys are getting exhausted.
8 different receivers have caught passes from Matthew Stafford today, and the 3rd quarter coming to a close. A lot of emotion in week number 1. Cardinals with a lot of new things to unveil, but it's the Lions who lead it 17-6 going into the 4th. And welcome back to Desert Country. It's kickoff weekend 2019, the 100th year of the National Football League. And the Lions lead the Cardinals coming into the 4th quarter 17-6. Arizona has managed just 2 field goals. They had a 1st and goal at the 8 and had to settle for 3. And then on their best drive of the game offensively, they got 3 out of it. The Lions will have a 2nd and 9 on the Cardinal 18. And quick move and a flag down.
False start. offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Third penalty for Taylor Decker, the left tackle.
Yeah, he's had a tough day today. He's given up pressures. He's given up sacks. Obviously, you know, when you get a position like that, having played that position or played offensive line, and you're just off your game a little bit, it is so hard to get yourself back into rhythm. So you're jumpy, you're flinchy, and you know they're lining up trying to get a pass rush, obviously, over Decker. They're drawing straws to line up against him right now.
Second down, 14. And that pass incomplete. Galladay, who has a touchdown reception today, and even though he was a little bit off the mark, looked like it was catchable for a guy like him.
It certainly was. I think it shocked him a little bit because Matthew Stafford went straight bullet on that one. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right there by Matthew Stafford. I think it shocked him a little bit.
He has a Kershaw fastball. The two buddies, of course, from Texas. Kershaw with the Dodgers, longtime friends. Third down and 14. Crowd looking for a stop here, forcing the Lions into a field goal situation. And Stafford still looking, and he lofts one, and it's caught for the touchdown. And it's Hockenson having a brilliant first game. So what was billed as the battle of the #1 pick, Kyler Murphy. Hockenson, the other #1 with the Detroit Lions, has stolen the show. 5 catches, 124 yards, and this 23-yard touchdown grab.
Oh, look at Hockenson. Look at him run. Now, this is what I love. He gets down to the end zone. Now he's mirroring his quarterback. Look at him uncover right here and just say, hey, I'll just give you a target. I see you running. Just check it. Look, and you got Stafford pointing him out. Just a wonderful connection between the rookie and the 11-year veteran. Look how happy the coach is right there. We're so happy we drafted you.
Matt Patricia had to get up to do that, actually, and move away from his support. The extra point by Prater is good. And it is now 24-6 in favor of the Lions. 10 plays, 82 yards for the Lions. And we'll be right back after this message from Geico. We'll be talking about T.J. Hockenson from now on, without question, after this performance.
T.J. Hockenson is just running down the seam. He's just adjusting. Look at he adjusting to his quarterback. Now he adjusts back out away from the defenders. I mean, I'm telling you what. That is straight up whole milk. There's no skim milk there. That is whole milk. That's a kid that understands this game and knows how to get himself away from coverage.
In his debut, 5 catches, 124 yards, and the first Lion tight end since 2012 to go over 100. Here is Andy Isabella, the Cardinal rookie, on the return, and he gets out past the 25-yard line. Time for the game break. Here's Curt Menefee.
All right, Mark, would you call this whole milk with extra cream or something? Look at this effort by T.Y. Hilton. The Colts were down 24-9 in the second half. They have fought back against the Chargers. This 19-yard score and then 2-point conversion by Marlon Mack has tied it at 24 with less than 30 seconds left. What a comeback, Dick and Mark.
And a lot of people, you know, have a feeling about the Colts after Andrew Luck was forced to retire, don't you think?
Oh, certainly. And everybody thinks, oh, the sky's falling. You know, Chicken Little, the season's over. But this is a very talented football team. They went 10-6 after a 1-5 start for a reason. They are talented.
On first down, incomplete. Ball hitting the ground, intended for Damiere Byrd. Murray has completed only 9 passes in 26 attempts. But look at Stafford's numbers. You want to talk about a quarterback rating after week 1, what he's headed for. 21, only 9 incompletions in 30 attempts. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no mistakes. And false start call coming up against the Cardinals.
False start, offense, number 19. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That was Keyshawn Johnson.
You know, you talk about Stafford and yards per attempt. Down last year by over a yard per attempt. Part of this offense was the play action. You look at this, the play action, the big-time explosives. We've seen a bunch of them. Over 10 yards per attempt today.
Larry Fitzgerald on the short pass. Darius Slay is there. So the passing rating is 136 for Matt Stafford today.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'm thinking that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Third down and 9. And here's Kyler Murray to run. And he slides. Let's see if he got enough. No, he's 2 yards, a yard and a half shy of the first down, but another penalty back at the 24. To this point, the Lions have been penalized more than the Cardinals.
Legal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
So third down and 9 coming up. What do we see?
Well, here's the formation, and I think we need somebody to cover the ball right here. Is that Keyshawn Johnson up at the top? He's got to be on the line of scrimmage in a 3-by-1 set.
Now it's third and 14. It was third and 9, and then the 5-yard penalty. And Murray inside his 15, and he's going up on top for this one. And the pass is going to be caught by Larry Fitzgerald. Yes, and a little emotion from Fitz as he makes the play. Tracy Walker all over him, but he made the fine play and a big catch for Fitzgerald for 41 yards.
Holding defense, number 27.
There he is right here coming off the ball.
First down.
Look at the adjustment to the football right here. Running down the seam, is thrown over the opposite shoulder. Your ability to rotate your body, sell out. Larry Fitzgerald showing some emotions. He's always had fantastic hands, but that's excellent body control on a ball thrown to the opposite shoulder you're looking for it at.
And the penalty against Coleman was declined. Still early in the fourth quarter. It'll be a first down at the 37-yard line. David Johnson gets a good yardage on first down run. So how about that play? The 41-yard pass to Fitzgerald, the longest play from scrimmage for the Cardinals today. And Fitzgerald has caught 4 passes for 57 yards today. Keeps rolling along, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
2nd and 6. Murray drills it, and it's caught inside the 30 by Johnson, the running back. Cardinals still looking for their first touchdown of this season. And we've just started the fourth quarter. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
Tell you what, I love this Reeves Maven kid. I mean, when he hits a guy, that guy stays hit. Now he's made a bunch of
Number
plays
52
on.
is reported as eligible. Number 52.
Mason Cole, the extra offensive lineman, is reported.
Made a bunch of plays on special teams. Has a nice one-on-one tackle with the running back.
Tight formation, one of the rare times the Cardinals have done that, and it's going to be Kirk on the end around, breaks the tackle and gets a first down, still on his feet. What a run by Kirk after he was hit. Looked like he was going to lose a few in the backfield, but he bounced off, and his second effort gets him 12 yards. Missing the tackle was Tracy Walker initially.
Yeah, that's just great individual effort. Again, line up and 7 offensive linemen try to trick him to the outside. Should have been stopped for negative yardage, if not for the effort for Christian Kirk.
And here is going to be Johnson off the left side, nowhere to go. And we'll pick up 1. Trey Flowers was right with him.
Look at this effort right here. Christian Kirk avoids the tackle in the backfield, takes a shot there. Whirling dervish, continues to fight, almost breaks loose right there, the tackle of Melvin.
And here is Murray's pass going to Kirk again, defended by Coleman. It'll be 3rd down and 9. So Kirk, the pride of Saguaro High School, there are a few of those on the Cardinal team, and many players who came up through the ranks in the Phoenix area. And they line up in a hurry. 3rd down and 9.
Is this 2-down territory? Are you going for it? You're going to try to score your first touchdown? I mean, I look at this like it's 2-down territory.
Well, I thought so earlier when they were on the 1 yard line, too. 3rd and 9. Murray's pass incomplete, going to Keyshawn Johnson. So now we'll find out. 4th down and 9. And Zane Gonzalez will come in, to the dismay of the crowd here.
Yeah, the fans feel a lot like I do. I mean, what's the old saying? Anytime you kick a field goal, you're 3 points closer to losing. I mean, at some point, you've got to say, not today. You know, we're going to give you a long field to contend with if we don't convert, but at some point, we've got to put 7 on the board instead of 3.
34-yard try for Gonzalez, who is 2 for 2 thus far today. And Gonzalez' kick is good. So Zane Gonzalez, best Kyler Murray could do is get 3 field goals in this game for this Cardinal offense. That's not what he's used to, or that man either. And it is now 24-9. Lions leading now 24-9 over the Cardinals, who have managed just 3 3-pointers. 42-yard catch by Fitzgerald was the big play in that 10-play drive. Cardinals had a chance at first and goal at the 8, got the ball inside the 1 and couldn't get a touchdown earlier. Agnew on the return. Big day for Matthew Stafford.
Well, he's been exceptional in the backfield, avoiding pressure, throwing the looper over there to Danny Amendola. How about this? Running for first downs. It's not even fair. Come on, stop it. Matthew Stafford adjusting his feet over the top, and then this one thrown back across his body, finding that rookie tight end TJ Hockenson. What a tremendous day. Just distributing the ball, getting it to everybody, and everybody involved. When your offense is that way, man, you feel good. Like anytime the ball can come my direction.
8 different receivers have caught passes from Stafford, and Kerryon Johnson on first down, stopped by Chandler Jones.
Obviously, the clock, the enemy of the Arizona Cardinals, as far as, you know, coming back in this one. Not only the clock, but also their offense in general is the enemy of them coming back right now.
More like it.
But, you know, you look at this, you want to lead this clock down. You don't want to snap this until you're under about, I don't know, 8-10 seconds. Just keep it going. Matthew Stafford adjusting at the line of scrimmage.
Still plenty of time. And here's Johnson again, and he is brought down, maybe a loss of a yard or no gain. I'll tell you what, the last few times the Cardinals have had the ball, they haven't gotten in position to score, but there are flickers. There's some flickers there that you see of getting to the line of scrimmage fast, getting a big play to Fitzgerald, and some activity.
Yeah, a couple of big runs there by David Johnson. They get the play over the top to Larry Fitzgerald. It's a lack of consistency, though. It's completing the easy ball, right? The easy completion to keep yourself ahead of the chains. They've always been in first or second down and long, third down and long situations all day long.
3rd down and 6 for the Lions. Catch is made by Amendola, and he is tackled immediately by Byron Murphy. So Byron Murphy, I think, has come up pretty well today. Remember that Alford and Peterson, the 2 starting cornerbacks, out, and Murphy, the 2nd-round draft choice from the University of Washington, inexperienced, native of Scottsdale and also Saguaro High School, has held his own at least.
Yeah, that's Saguaro High School is putting out some players right now. Murphy has been tremendous. The 2nd-round draft pick. You see why he was a 2nd-round draft choice, because he has been so good. And the impressive thing, the coverage has been great, but his ability to tackle and stop people, that's been wonderful.
4th down 3. Kirk trying to get room, hemmed in, and out of bounds he goes near the 30-yard line. So the Cardinals with yet another chance, and there is plenty of time. 2 possessions behind. 8:52. Lions not out of the woods yet. Cardinals have the ball, but you're the Lions, and you have a comfortable lead, and it's, you know, you're not out of the woods as of yet. What's the mindset?
Well, I think what you rally them together as a group on defense, say, hey guys, the pressure's on that offense. That offense, if not for a couple of explosive plays, they haven't kicked but one field goal on the muffed punt. So the onus is on them to make plays. Guys, don't do more than your job. Let's rally around, make tackles. We'll be all right. But they're the ones that have to make the big play.
Starting from the 30. Murray's pass. And it's caught by Fitzgerald. Gain of 5 yards for him.
I love Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, he is fearless. Go over the middle. I don't care. I don't drop. You know, there's a stat that runs around out there. He has more tackles in the NFL than he has drop passes.
Kirk will get the first down out to the 43-yard line. So 2 quick passes for relatively short yardage.
The tempo is better. Completion, when you complete the pass, the tempo automatically picks up, and look, you're in situations where you're churning first downs again.
Again, Murray going to take off, and it's going to be knocked down, but a flag is also thrown on the far side of the field, and it may be against Arizona.
Legal motion on the offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So that's on the wide receiver, Damiere Byrd, who has really shown the ability to be a good scat back for the Cardinals. We haven't seen all of their wide receivers do their thing, which we did in practice the other day. They haven't done it today yet. And a 5-yard penalty will present 1st and 15 back on the 38.
One of the issues with, you know, tempo is your guys make mistakes. We've seen some penalties today, motion and formation penalties from this Arizona offense.
Murray quickly out to Johnson. He won't do much more after that, thanks to Tracy Walker. Out to the 42-yard line, a 4-yard pickup.
Tracy Walker does something really good there, very subtle. He takes an outside leverage angle and makes the running back Johnson cut back into the middle, makes the tackle, keeps the clock running in this situation.
Murray has some time trying to find somebody, and he does. And the completed pass to Byrd will leave him about 2 yards shy of the first down. He had 3 receivers right in the same neighborhood. Another penalty marker down.
Well, the quarterback was still in the pocket. Legal contact. Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So they call Rashaan Melvin with the penalty. He wants an explanation. And so it'll be an automatic first down for the Cardinals. Matt Patricia. Last year, the team was 3-3 after their first 6 games, including wins over the Patriots and Packers, and then only won 3 the rest of the way. Trying to get off on the right foot today.
So they're going to lose the reception yardage here, lose the reception, but gain the first down as opposed to being 3rd down and short. They get the first down.
And it's first down.
Minus about 7 yards of field position.
Correct.
Got a little rhythm going here right now for the first time in this game as an offense.
From the 47. Murray. And the pass is caught by Keyshawn Johnson. First down and out of bounds at the Lions 42-yard line. 11 more go on the short route, but crisp routes being run by these receivers.
Yeah, and the route down here at the bottom, just the square out on the sideline. Great job with his feet.
Another first down. Murray going underneath and doing a great job of holding on to the ball is David Johnson with a hard hit. He got 5 as Mabin, who's been
That's my guy.
hitting
right?
everyone today, hasn't he?
That's my guy.
Who hasn't he hit?
Like I said, when he hits somebody, they stay hit.
Play action. And the pass is going to be caught by Christian Kirk. And a first down to the 27-yard line of the Lions. Tracy Walker defending. So I see the rhythm getting better. You have said the confidence has to be better for this offense lately.
Oh, there's no question about it. The pace, the tempo, you see them getting Detroit on their heels a little bit.
First down on the 27. Murray going up on top to Johnson. Touchdown! Cardinals finally get their first touchdown of 2019 on a 27-yard pass from Kyler Murray to David Johnson in a really well-executed drive.
And that's the tempo. That's what this offense is supposed to look like. Just dink and dunk on the outsides. Get the ball into the hands of your playmakers, and then you've got David Johnson running down the seam out of the backfield on one-on-one with the linebacker, Reeves-Maybin, and beautifully. I mean, here's a guy all of a sudden that for the first 3 quarters was inaccurate, couldn't get the ball on time on the right side of the receivers, and then you see the beautiful ball down the seam to the running back for the touchdown.
First NFL touchdown pass by Kyler Murray, and Zane Gonzalez for the extra point. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter, and Gonzalez' kick is good. So 3 field goals and a touchdown, and now it's an 8-point deficit. Lions 24, Cardinals 16. Here it is once more.
Out of the backfield right here. Now watch him get down there. You're one-on-one with that linebacker in the middle. Nice adjustment on the football. David Johnson is one of those guys that just has the ability to not only run between the tackles, outside the tackles. He's so strong, but he is an excellent receiver. You see him high point the ball right there, go over the linebacker for that catch, and all of a sudden we've seen what this offense is supposed to look like.
And David Johnson with 53 yards rushing, 55 yards as a receiver, going over 100 total yards in this game. And that's a 7-play, 70-yard scoring drive. And an 8-point game, 1-possession game. So again, the Lions can't breathe easy yet. Matthew Stafford getting set to go back to work, having a marvelous day. Jamal Agnew on the return from the goal line and gets tripped up at the 17. And for David Johnson, this is his 50th career game, 44th touchdown. And how about the company he's in now with Todd Gurley and Adrian Peterson for the most touchdowns in the first 50 career games amongst active players?
It really is amazing. I mean, he took that to a trivia contest right there. I don't think a lot of people will be able to answer that one with David Johnson. He's so versatile, both as a running back and as a pass receiver. And you saw it right there for that 44th touchdown.
Had that wrist injury, which eliminated the season recently. Here's Stafford on the handoff to Kerryon Johnson for a couple of yards.
Tell you, that drive did 2 things. Not only to put 7 points on the board and got you within 1 score, but it also gave that defense that's really been exceptional for the most part. They've given up a couple of big plays. It's really given that defense time to get on the sideline, to suck some water, to talk about what they want to do, and to come out here with the energy to hopefully for them to get a 3 and out and put their offense right back on the football field.
2nd and 7. Johnson. And he'll be about a yard or so short of the first down, bringing up 3rd and short as Suggs and Dennis Gardeck combine on that play. Well, the crowd should turn it up a notch here on 3rd and 1. Stafford to throw, caught by Johnson for the first down. So the running back, Kerryon Johnson, out of the backfield. And it'll be a first down for the Lions.
You throw the fake. You got the naked boot right out there. Matthew Stafford snaps his head around and goes, okay, one, I don't want to get hit by a defensive end. Find my running back out in the flat. And I love what Kerryon Johnson did right there. That's awareness, right? You're down inside, 5 minutes. Get down, don't go out of bounds, keep the clock running. Now we're inside of 4 right there. That's just smart, savvy football, understanding situational where we are on the football field and what the clock is doing.
From the 32, and Johnson again, and tripped up by Hassan Reddick. Using the clock are the Lions on the ground. And for a game break, let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
The second half.
Well, Tampa Bay's day looks like it is about done against the 49er. This is the 3rd interception of the afternoon thrown by Jameis Winston. Witherspoon takes it all the way in for the score. It's 31-17 as they approach the 2-minute warning. And Dick and Mark, you guys remember former Cardinals head coach Bruce Arians was brought into Tampa Bay to try and help Jameis Winston cut down on all those turnovers. It's not working so far.
And you're right, of course, Bruce Arians was here in Arizona leading the Cardinals, and they had some great days with Carson Palmer as the quarterback.
You just
quite
have
recently.
You have to understand, if you're Jameis Winston, you have to understand when it's time. You can't throw it in a team meeting. You can't play hero ball. You've got to have better control.
On 2nd down and 7, here is C.J. Anderson, and Anderson will run for the first down. And using the clock effectively is Darrell Bevell, and a pickup of 9. And we
second charge timeout, Arizona.
Cardinals calling their second timeout. They have 1 left.
C.J. Anderson, too. He breaks it. Got an outside run right there. He says, I'm not going to stay outside. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get right back between the hashes. I know where my bread and butter is. I'm not going to get out in here. I'm going to get right back in here when I get the opportunity. Here it is, wide open. What is he going to do? No, let me get back in the middle here. That's where I'm going to make my money. Keep that clock rolling, get my first down, cut it back inside, wonderfully blocked by the Detroit Lions. Another first down. They're just eating up. This is 4-minute offense to perfection.
From the 44. Again, it's Anderson. And this time he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Rodney Gunter. Loss of 2, but the clock continues to run. No, it stopped for the last time by the Cardinals, other than the 2-minute warning.
Arizona.
They'll get a stoppage there, and so the Cardinals are out of timeouts. But the one thing they're going to have to do is just prevent first downs, and they haven't been able to do that on this drive by Detroit.
Sure, now you're in 2nd down and long situation. Darrell Bevell's got to figure out what he wants to call. Are we going to run? We're going to run the ball, let the clock continue to run. Do we have another boot keep in our game? A little naked boot, get Matthew Stafford out there. Like, those are the things going through your minds. You've had success with the tight ends right now in tight formations, throwing the football. So there's all kinds of things open up for Darrell Bevell right now.
Cardinals cannot stop the clock. 2nd down and 12. Anderson. Bring up 3rd down, and tackle made by Terrell Suggs. Now the Lions will take their time. Ball is on their 49-yard line.
And here comes the one guy in the game right now that's got great rapport with Matthew Stafford, and that is Danny Amendola. They have converted throughout the course of the preseason several first downs. He's that target, that guy you can trust, that guy you believe in running the option routes in the middle of the football field.
He has 6 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown catch. 3rd down and 5. And here's the Lions, and here's going to be J.D. McKissick, and whistles all over the place. Stoppage of play. And the Lions, did the Lions call a timeout before the snap?
Prior to the ball being snapped, Detroit first charge timeout of the second half.
Well, they had
30-second timeout.
They had a first down, and
game clock operator, please reset
Stafford
the game
is
clock
shaking his head because they had a first down, which would have just about clinch this game, and you see Matt Patricia's look on his face. And the last gasp light for the Cardinals here, it'll still be 3rd and 5.
You need to take that. Here we go. Right here. Is this Darrell Bevell right here calling a timeout? He calls a timeout before the snap.
I don't think anyone else knew that.
Here's the play. Look at it's such an excellent play. They sneak on a little slide. McKissick outside. And
now it's 3rd down and 5. I think Bevell was the only one on the sideline who knew it was a timeout. He called it. Now there's the time running out and the clap, and here's the pass downfield, and it's going to be incomplete. 4th down coming up, and the Arizona Cardinals have a life, and Matthew Stafford is livid right now as he goes to the sideline. And who can blame him? The Lions seemingly had a 1st down, would have wrapped it up. And instead, the Cardinals will get another chance. 4th down, and Sam Martin will be kicking. And what does Kyler Murray have in his back pocket for a last gasp for the Cardinals? It's blocked. Kick is blocked. And it was Gardeck who blocked the kick. Dennis Gardeck of the Cardinals looked like he was the man who got in there to block the kick, and he did. And the Cardinals will have good field position. And Martin is infuriated on the sideline. Not so for the Cardinals, who have another chance.
Gardeck coming off the edge right here. Great bull rush. Just get that one hand out there. Gets the block. That's just great effort. Bury your head, push the defender, or push the offensive blocker into the punter and get that block.
All right, 2:31 remaining. No timeouts remaining for the Cardinals. They'll get a stoppage at the 2-minute warning. And a 1st down on their 40. 8 points behind. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. First down, Kyler Murray completes it to Larry Fitzgerald, and he manages to go out of bounds and stop the clock after a 3-yard pickup. So the Cardinal offense coming alive in the last three drives with 2 field goals and their first touchdown of the year. 2nd and 7. And Murray is going to go deep. And Fitzgerald, ball knocked away, double covered downfield by Justin Coleman and Tracy Walker, and yet Fitzgerald very nearly held on.
Tracy Walker playing in the middle of the football field, coming over, helping his buddy Coleman. There's some grabbing going on right there, but nice timing on the hit right to the back. Look, Coleman's got the hand. Fitzgerald almost has it, yes, and Walker comes in there and breaks that up. Oh my, just what an aggressive play by
3rd down
Walker.
and 7. And the pass drilled up the middle, and it's going to be complete to Damiere Byrd. 1st down. Cardinals would like to get another play off before the 2-minute warning. It'll be a 1st down on the 37, and they won't be able to do it. And we're down to the 2-minute warning. So Damiere Byrd, with his first catch, 2nd catch of the game, a 19-yard play, setting up the Cardinals still alive. We'll be back. 2 minutes remaining. I want to clarify something here. We saw Darrell Bevell call a timeout, but the only man that can call a timeout in a game is the head coach. So Bevell signaled head coach, and then Matt Patricia had to signal the head coach to the officials for the timeout. It wasn't Bevell's deal alone. Patricia had to go along with it, and he did. 2 minutes remaining, and here's Kyler Murray, and Murray completes it to Keyshawn Johnson, who will lose a yard, maybe 1 on the play.
Yeah, Matt Patricia now needs to take that pencil from underneath his ear there, behind his ear, and write a note to self. Don't take a timeout.
When it looks like the game is going to be over
We have
in
an
our
injured
favor.
player, Detroit, by rule under 2 minutes. That's going to be a charged timeout.
So Rashawn
That's
Melvin is
Detroit's
shaken
second
up.
charged timeout.
So
in the
now the
second half.
Lions will be charged with a timeout and have one remaining. 1:45 on the clock. Cliff Kingsbury and his team have no timeouts remaining.
And you know what happens there with that timeout is you are expecting, you put a formation together where you're expecting a certain look, and if you don't get it as a coordinator, you're like, hey man, give me the timeout. We didn't get the look we wanted. And of course they do it, and this play is still successful regardless. So that's what happens to you as an offensive coaching staff. You expect a certain look, and you don't get the look you expected. Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator from Arizona, gives you something else, and you want to get out of the play, and then you execute it, and it is wonderful, and it looks, just looks bad.
Want to welcome our viewers of the 49er Tampa Bay Buccaneer game. Cardinals in a last gasp attempt to come back in this game have a 2nd and 10 on the 38 of the Lions. And here's Kyler Murray with the run. He's got the first down. May have run out of bounds before the first down, but he had to stop the clock at 1:38, and the good spot will give the Cardinals a first down. Trailing by 8, the Cardinals need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. Dick Stockton along with Mark Schlereth and Jen Hale here. And the first game of the career for Cliff Kingsbury as an NFL head coach. And of course Murray, the #1 pick. Ball at the 28, first down. Cardinals have trailed all the way.
Previous play is being reviewed.
And a booth review of the previous play.
Want to see if he did actually get across that first down line. It looked initially to me that he was a little bit short, and they gave him a great spot.
Yeah. It looked like he was a full yard shy.
Goes across right here. Does he reach the ball over? Ball's in his right hand. Yeah, he's still about a yard shy of that first down marker. So
well, the Lions dominated this game. We're up by a score of 24-6 in the 4th quarter, but the Cardinals have come back, and their offense has been ineffective today. And unveiling of this new offense, the air raid attack fizzled, and lately it's come alive a little more.
yeah, for 3 quarters, I mean, to call it garbage would have been an insult to garbage, but this 4th quarter has been tremendous. They have found their rhythm. They have executed the short passing game on the sidelines, the outs, the corner routes. They've also created some big plays over the middle on some deep crossing routes. This offense all of a sudden has
After
found its
review,
life.
when the runner went out of bounds, the ball was short of the line to gain at the 29-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 29-yard line. It will be 3rd down and 1. The game clock is good at 1 minute and 40 seconds. Please reset to 1:40.
So they add 2 seconds to the clock.
Thank you.
Cardinals cannot stop it anymore. They're out of timeouts. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Matthew Stafford has thrown 3 touchdown passes today, 314 yards. Has had a terrific game. And to this point, the Cardinal defense have kept them in this contest. Third and 1. 2 down territory. And David Johnson with the first down, and nearly broke the tackle. Gets inside the 20. Coming up tonight on NBC, it's Sunday Night Football. The Steelers take on the defending Super Bowl champion Patriots. Kickoff is at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific. Clock running. First down on the 19. Cardinals need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. And here is Kyler Murray, and he flips it to Johnson. Johnson trying to get out of bounds, and he does finally to stop the clock at the 104 mark. And the ball is spotted at the 16.
That's just effort by Johnson, because he cut back inside, and I think as soon as he cut back inside, he realized, uh-oh, that was a mistake. I need to get myself out of bounds and save time. And you know what? He fought to get out of bounds there after a short gain.
They spread it out with 5 wide receivers. And on the slant, Jameer Berg will get a first down with under a minute to play. He's at the 9-yard line. It'll be first and goal for Arizona. And a timeout called by the Lions.
Third and final of the second half.
Didn't we say that this could tire out a defense the way they're running it? Here's how we got to this point. Matthew Stafford took a big lead. Touchdown passes to Amendola and Golladay and the rookie Hawkinson, who's had a great game today. It was 24-6. Tyler Murray struggled, as did this entire offense, to start the game. Frustration showed, but he came back. And Tyler Murray with a big touchdown pass to David Johnson. And now they're still alive. So Stafford, brilliant, but his team still in the balance here for a victory. And Matt Patricia trying to see his team hold on.
When they kicked that field goal to score their 9th point, myself and every fan in this stadium was like, go for it on 4th down. You guys have been so bad. But listen, I was wrong, because Kingsbury made the right decision to kick that field goal, giving them a chance right here in a 1-score game.
Rashaan Melvin, who's injured, back in the game. And here's the throw into the end zone to Fitzgerald. And the pass is incomplete. No flags. And it'll be second and goal. 47 seconds left, and that was Justin Coleman doing a good job on the coverage with Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, he is really doing a good job. There's some pushing right there. There's some engagement right there, but no call there.
Flag
face
down.
mask on the defense, number 90.
And it's going to be an automatic first down. Trey Flowers with a face mask call. And it'll be half the distance to the goal line. They'll place it just inside the 5.
Oh, excuse me, right here, Trey Flowers on the right side. He gets his hand in the face mask a little bit, but come on now.
So it's first and goal at the 4. Tyler Murray on the pass, and it's going to be a touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, of all people, in this young man's offense, it's the 36-year veteran, 36-year-old veteran who makes the grab for the touchdown, and they've got to go for 2 to tie it up.
Larry Fitzgerald decides to come back for year 16. Through 3 quarters, look at all this. Larry Fitzgerald just running the flat route right there, beats the defense, create traffic with the inside receivers.
And it's all going to be here for the 2-point conversion. They bring in Max Williams at tight end. Charles Clay is in. They have 2 tight ends in now. And the game hangs in the balance right here with 43 seconds remaining. And who would have thought this? Throws, and Kirk gets the 2-pointer to tie it up. The Cardinals have scored 18 points here in the 4th quarter to tie the game at 24.
Here's the two-pointer, and look at where that is. The ball is on the hash right here to create width this way, and that's exactly what they want. As Murray comes out, they run a couple of rub routes. They get extra space because they move the ball to the hash, and Christian Kirk takes it in for the touchdown.
The Cardinals and Matt Patricia, and we got to tell you about the footnote earlier. A timeout was called by the Lions a second before Stafford presumably threw a screen pass that would have given them a first down and iced the game with no timeouts left for Arizona. Instead, there was a timeout charge to the Lions. They didn't make it on third down, and the Cardinals have come back to tie it up at 24. And here's what happened on the third down play.
Right here, Darrell Bevell moving over to call the timeout to Patricia. They get the timeout. I'll tell you what, and then the next play, that's the one they don't convert, which leads to the block punt. And guess what, guys? We got a football game. The over route right there to Bird. Now Larry Fitzgerald running some rub routes on the flat right there for the touchdown. Same thing, other direction to Christian Kirk. And this thing's all tied up at 24.
18 unanswered points. 43 seconds to go. And there's Stafford. First down, completes it to Golladay, who has a touchdown grab today. And they're going to clock the ball to stop the clock with under a half a minute remaining. And now 24 seconds. And a first down at the 36 of the Lions. Darrell Bevell trying to dial up a pass to get the Lions at least into field goal range and try to win this one. No timeouts remaining for either team.
And as I mentioned, pregame warm-up, watching Matt Prater just drill 60-yarders.
Stafford has time, going up on top, and the pass is incomplete. Good break up there by Chris Jones against Golladay, bringing up 3rd and 10, and we're down to 17 seconds.
Chris Jones out here one-on-one with Golladay, gets the inside release. Look at him run with him, stay with him, a little hand fighting right there. Turns back to the ball, and I like it. Let him play. I love this. Let them play.
And you said the right thing. Turns back to the ball. That was critical.
Right.
All right, 3rd down with 17 seconds left. Stafford deep. And overthrows T.J. Hockenson. Hockenson, who's had a brilliant debut with a penalty flag down in the backfield.
Holding. Offense, number 68. Penalty decline.
Taylor Decker, the left tackle, holding. Decker called for 4 penalties at the left tackle spot. Meanwhile, Hockenson, in his debut, the #1 draft pick for the Lions, 5 catches and 124 yards and a TD grab for him. But now it's 4th down, 9 seconds to go. And this game headed for overtime. Christian Kirk is back at the 20. Flag down. Penalty flag down, and now Kirk is stopped at the 16 as time has run out.
That is the end of regulation.
And that is the end of regulation. So Kyler Murray, who has come back big, he's 24 for 44 attempts, 226 yards. And overtime coming up, and whoever could anticipate that when we were in the middle of this 4th quarter and an 18-point lead for the Lions.
Dick, they had 3 first downs deep into the 3rd quarter. That's what they had on offense. They hadn't done anything. And to be able to find your rhythm, to be able to have that confidence, to be able to go out there and execute that short passing game and open up some of those explosives over the top, I can't say enough about Kyler Murray. To keep your head in that.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team, number 49, went out of bounds and stayed out of bounds for longer than he was supposed to. That penalty is declined. We're going to overtime.
I love that explanation. Longer than he was supposed to. You know, the deal is once you go out of bounds and you're the gunner, you have to work to get yourself back in bounds.
What didn't the Lions do defensively, giving up 18 points?
I'm telling you what, they were just shell-shocked, playing on their heels. It was the tempo and it was the consistent completions that got them on their heels and got them out of that kind of going forward and attacking this offense.
Okay, gentlemen, overtime rules. We're going to play one 10-minute period with fourth quarter timing rules. Each team is going to get 2 timeouts. All reviews are going to be from upstairs. And if the team that gets the ball to start the overtime period ends up scoring a touchdown, the game is over. Same coin, heads, tails, your choice. Choice is going to be heads. It's tails. Which way are you going to kick? Which way you want to kick?
Kyler Murray can win it in his debut with a touchdown here. Overtime coming up here in Arizona. The Cardinals and Lions are tied at 24. Start of overtime, Lions and Cardinals tied at 24. Coming up tonight on NBC, Sunday Night Football. Steelers and the defending Super Bowl champion Patriots. Kickoff 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific. And that's all coming up. Sam Martin gets the OT underway. Andy Isabella. We'll see it sail over his head. Here are the overtime rules. Both teams have an opportunity to possess the ball unless the Cardinals get a touchdown or there's a safety in the game. 1 10-minute quarter, 2 timeouts per team. All replays initiated from the booth. So if the Cardinals get a field goal, the Lions can come back and a touchdown would win the game.
Yes, they get an opportunity to possess the ball, and now we're going to see what the Lions, how they respond to this air raid offense that has been in rhythm, that has been completing passes. They think blitz pressure is coming, or are they going to try to make Kyler Murray uncomfortable here?
Is fatigue a factor?
Absolutely. The tempo in this fourth quarter has been unreal for Arizona.
Starting from the 25. And off to David Johnson. And a good gain of 6 yards on first down. Cliff Kingsbury, who had a losing record at Texas Tech, making his NFL coaching debut as a head coach. 2nd down and 3. Murray gets time, and he's going up top for Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald makes the catch. Big play, the longest pass play of the game.
One-on-one coverage. Larry Fitzgerald walks away from Tracy Walker. Eyes, look at the concentration. Elbow down, inbounds.
45 yards. Fitzgerald 114 yards in receptions today on 8 catches. First down at the 23. Here's Murray, and he gets open, and the pass is caught by the tight end, Max Williams, former Raven, and it'll be 1st and goal now for the Cardinals at the 8.
Little half roll to the right, throw it back to Williams, who kind of does what Amendola did early in this game for the touchdown, hides and comes across the formation.
15 yards, so 60 yards on 2 passes by Kyler Murray. And a touchdown can win it for the Cardinals. First and goal at the 8. And here's Murray with a fade. And it is incomplete, going to Keyshawn Johnson. And covered by Rashaan Melvin. It'll be second down and goal. Earlier in the game, the Cardinals had a first and goal from the 8 and had to settle for a field goal. And Melvin comes off again, injured for the second time in the last few plays.
He came into the game with a knee injury, and then he just ran into a cameraman down there off the coverage once he went out of bounds, and seems to have re-aggravated that.
So it'll be second and goal at the 8. Chase Edmonds, pretty good playmaker in his second year. Lines up in the Cardinal backfield. And the Lions will call a timeout.
Period. 30-second timeout.
I wonder about the fatigue factor again here. I know that the timeout is not called just for that. They got to be kind of tired giving up 18 points in the stretch drive here.
Yeah, and this is one of these things that Matt Patricia learned in his New England days. They call it a Polaroid timeout. They want to look at what you're in, what formation you're in, and they want to be able to adjust the defense based on that. So they'll take time out here just to get a look at what personnel groupings you're in, what formations you're in, and make what they think is the proper call or the proper adjustment.
And the Lions have 1 timeout remaining in the overtime session. Second down and goal. Murray will carry it, trying to turn the corner, nothing there. Will lose 2 as he goes out of bounds, looking for a penalty, late hit from Coleman. And Walker, nothing there. So third and goal now. It was Walker.
Well, that's dangerously close right there.
That was close.
In his defense, he launched himself toward Murray while Murray was still in bounds. But once you get to that out of bounds marker and you're anywhere in that lower half, that is a dangerous play by Walker.
Third down and goal. Running from pressure is Murray, and he fires, throws the ball away. No one in the area, bringing up fourth down, and so the Cardinals will send in the field goal team. Jahlani Tavai, the rookie linebacker, with good pressure on Kyler Murray. So here comes Zane Gonzalez. 3 for 3 today. Will attempt a 28-yarder to give the Cardinals the lead. Gonzalez kick is good, and the Cardinals have taken a 27-24 lead with 7:17 in overtime. It's the first lead of the game for the Arizona Cardinals, but Matt Stafford, ever dangerous comeback man, will enter the game. Cardinals lead for the first time in the game, 27-24. Reminder, coming up on NBC Sunday Night Football, a great matchup. Steelers against the Patriots, the defending NFL champs. That'll be coming up 8:20 Eastern. And now the Lions have a chance, and Zane Gonzalez booms this one about 7 yards in the end zone. And the Lions and Matthew Stafford will start from the 25. He is completed, has Stafford. 24 of 37 passes for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns.
If I'm Darrell Bevell, offensive coordinator right now, I'm saying, okay, guys, calm down. And one, we have to protect our left tackle. We have to make sure, whether we slide protection, whether we line a tight end up over there, or whether we have a fullback or tailback chipping, that is our #1 priority. Protection first.
He's had multiple penalties at left tackle. On first down, Stafford has time, and the pass is going to be caught for the first down to Marvin Jones. And a big gain there of 26 yards, and the Lions will have a first down at the 45.
Here we go. That's what we're talking about right there. Protect our left tackle. Make sure that Matthew Stafford has a good pocket. Then the over route to Marvin Jones. Starts with protection. You put that kind of pocket for your quarterback, Matthew Stafford's going to pick people apart.
He was a comeback master in 2016, leading the Lions to the playoffs. Trying to do it here. Kerryon Johnson breaks the tackle off the left side and gets 9 yards on first down to the 45 of Arizona. Jordan Hicks making the tackle.
2nd down and 1. This is where I come in. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, let's take one deep, let's take our shot. Convert, move the chains, exhaust the defense, make them defend, make them get off the ground, get somebody in their legs. That's what you want to do. Impose your will right here and then get yourself a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 1 is not a bad passing down either, but they're going to run. Johnson gets the first down to the 42-yard line. Under 6 minutes remaining in the overtime session. Cardinals with a couple of big passes. One to Larry Fitzgerald for 45 yards. Drive stalled, and it set up the field goal to give them the lead. Lions trying to win it with a TD. First down at the 41. Here's Stafford down the middle, and the pass is going to be caught by Marvin Jones. 2 big catches in this overtime period for Marvin Jones, and the Lions will have a first down on the 19 of Arizona. That was good for 23 yards.
Well, we run the boot keep, and we're throwing it back across our body on the over route. Marvin Jones does a great job of sliding underneath that.
And they're going to send it up for a booth review to make sure that that catch was made and the ball didn't hit the ground.
2 hands.
Please reset the game clock to 5 minutes, 7 seconds. 5, 7.
I love how he goes down there. 2 hands, gets his elbows, what looks like underneath the ball now. Whether he caught it or not, they're reviewing that right now, but he does a really good job. Look at both hands underneath, work up toward the ball, pin it to your chest. Both hands underneath there, there's no way they can overturn that. They called it a catch right off the bat. I just don't think they can overturn that.
Well, I don't think there's anything to reverse the call.
That conclusive evidence, there does not look to be any conclusive evidence. And look how tight his hands are together underneath that football.
Yeah, he cradled it. Team Blandino looks to us like there's no way they could reverse that call.
I agree with you guys. Hands underneath, ball comes in. It's a big play, so they're taking an extra look. But again, I haven't seen anything that shows the ball loose on the ground. I think the call here should stand.
The ruling of a catch stands. First down.
So it'll be a first down.
Please put the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. So 5:07 show on the clock, and the Lions are on the Cardinal 18. This Cardinal defense playing a lot better than people anticipated, but they'll need to stop here. Here's Stafford trying to get into Hockenson. 2nd down. Boy, Matthew Stafford has been in this position so many times, Mark, in games when he's needed the score to win coming down the stretch. Trying to bounce back from a tough year last year, bothered by the bad back.
Well, he's looked good so far.
Kyler Murray looking for another chance.
Manipulate the pocket, getting outside the pocket.
Kerryon Johnson will be stopped at the 15 with the forward progress. And it'll be 3rd down after the 3-yard pickup. So 3rd down and 7. Winding down to 4 minutes to go in the overtime session.
Here's our 3rd down target, Danny Amendola.
Stafford backpedals, going in the end zone, and the ball's knocked away. Terrific play made by Tremaine Brock, who's starting this game. The 2 regular cornerbacks not there, but a flag is down.
Holding. Offense. Number 26. Penalties decline.
And it was the running back,
4th down.
C.J. Anderson, called for holding. And so it'll be 4th down, and Matt Prater will come in to try to tie the game.
Tremaine Brock right here playing the ball at the high point between the hands of the receiver. Does not, this is perfect. I mean, doesn't interfere. His hand does graze down the back, but it doesn't move the receiver at all. You just can't play it better than Tremaine Brock just played that.
Against a 6'4" Galladay. So here it is, a 33-yard field goal. And the kick by Prater is good. And that ties the game at 27 all. So the drama goes on here. Matt Patricia's Lions, who were leading by 18 in the 4th quarter, saw the lead evaporate. Stafford gets the Lions back with 3. And now
By
Kyler
rule,
Murray
the
has a
next
chance
score,
to
either
win.
team will win the game.
Prater driving the ball through the uprights. He's done this a few times. Eyes down. Guess what? 3:48 left. Next score. That's a ball game.
And so Kyler Murray, who's really struggled, this offense was empty, showed nothing for most of this game, and they came alive in the 2nd half, started, and then the 4th quarter big time. Again, coming up Sunday Night Football, Steelers and Patriots on NBC.
Yeah, for 3 quarters, they did absolutely nothing as an offense. I mean, literally, absolutely nothing. And then, all of a sudden, the 4th quarter breaks out. They start completing passes. This is what this offense is supposed to look like. This crowd was dead. They were on their feet. They've come alive.
Andy Isabella will be back to receive the kick from Sam Martin. And this kick is a deep one and will sail out of the end zone. So they'll start from the 25. This is what Kyler Murray has done today.
This is the 2nd half, and great protection in the pocket. Look at him throw open the wide receiver. Arm strength on the deep out from the other side of the football field. Touch down the seam to his running back, David Johnson. And then right here on the pick route, Larry Fitzgerald. Go ahead, Larry. Tie it up for the 2-point conversion right there to Christian Kirk. That's the tie ball game. And that's Kyler Murray's 2nd half. Pretty much the 4th quarter and change.
Look at the difference, night and day, between the 1st and 2nd halves for Kyler Murray. And he's 2 for 3 in the overtime for 60 yards, starting from the 25. They spread it out with 5 wide receivers, 3 to the left side. Murray's first pass is complete to the 30 to Charles Clay, the tight end, his first catch of the game. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Calling empty. David Johnson comes out here as an eligible receiver.
This crowd is on its feet, by the way. All the way around this oval. 2nd down and 5. Murray on 2nd and 5, and his pass incomplete, intended for Damiere Byrd, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Next on Fox, except on the West Coast, The Simpsons, followed by Last Man Standing. Speaking of Last Man Standing, there are many thousand in the crowd. Third down and 5. the pass is going to be a first down to Christian Kirk. So there have been a couple of long shots taken by Murray, but it's been the short passes that have been effective for him today.
It has, and right now they're just running the pick route game to perfection. One guy out, another guy in press coverage.
David Johnson picks up about 4 yards, 4.5.
Kyler Murray in complete control of this offense. Look, I mean, he's signaling. He's in control right now. 100% autonomy at the line of scrimmage, signaling his receivers what he wants from them.
Timeout, Arizona. First
And the
charge of the
Cardinals
overtime
call their
period.
first timeout. They have
30-second
one
timeout.
remaining, as do the Lions. It'll be second down and 5. How about Larry Fitzgerald today with all of the whiz kids to go with this new offense? Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. It's the 36-year-old Larry Fitzgerald, 8 catches, 114 yards, touchdown grab, and his grab setting up the field goal to give the Cardinals the lead first in overtime.
And he's told us, you know, I've had to change my style, my approach. Like, I just can't come up and talk to the kids anymore. What I have to do is send them a text message, right? I send the kids a text message, then they text me back, and then we have a conversation. He's like, it's completely different than the locker room I grew up in, but he's adjusted. Thank the Lord he has, because it is so good to see him in a Cardinal uniform continuing his career.
Yeah, great longevity with the same organization. Second down and 5. 2:27 remaining in overtime. Kyler Murray having to run for his life. And Murray is going to slide, will lose a little bit there. Good pressure that time by Devon Kennard. So third down and 8. And we will have a break at the 2-minute warning. 27-27. How will this one end? A couple of field goals. A 3-pointer would win it for the Cardinals. Will it be a tie? Come back. Ben Roethlisberger against Tom Brady. Sunday Night Football, the Steelers and the Super Bowl champion Patriots. They have a bunch of trophies, don't they? Lombardi trophies in their showcase. Kickoff 8:20 Eastern. Sunday Night Football on NBC.
Yeah, that's 12 Super Bowl trophies combined there in that game.
Third down and 8. Trying to keep it alive is Kyler Murray. And his pass is going to be caught. First down, Damiere Byrd. And stops the clock at 1:53. At the 49 of Detroit.
Look at him uncoil. Just drive the football to the outside. Puts it right between the 1 and the 4.
And here's David Johnson for a couple of yards. Clock slowly becoming a factor in this game. Murray, by the way, has completed 3 more passes than Matthew Stafford today. And whoever thought we would get to that the way he was looking into the 4th quarter.
Kid has got poise. I'll say that about him.
Second down and 7. Crowd is quiet, ready to erupt, but they're on their feet as far as we can see. Murray stepping up, and this pass intended for Fitzgerald overthrown. Fitzgerald looking around to see of a flag possibility, nothing there. So now it'll be third down and 8. Darius Slay.
Fits right there, the one-on-one.
Good no call, I think.
Yeah, and it's a Pro Bowl corner. If anything, Larry was the one grabbed Slay, but Slay is one of those guys that, you know, wants to jam you and soft pedal. He's an outstanding change of direction corner. Just absolutely tremendous.
They're not in field goal range yet. They have to get to the 37. And the ball batted. Incomplete. 4th time today that the Lions have batted down a pass
It's an
at the
incomplete
line.
pass, 4th down.
By Kyler Murray. That was Christian Jones. So now it'll be 4th down and 7.
Here it is, and we've seen this happen several times. Christian Jones just reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's off the ball right there. As soon as he sees Murray loading up to throw that football, he times his jump gets a piece of it.
Second and final timeout of
And
overtime, Arizona.
Timeout called
32nd timeout.
by the Cardinals. So they are out of timeouts. Now what's the discussion here? They are 4th and 7 on the 46, and if they go for it and miss it, they're going to give the Lions great field position to get into field goal range for Matt Prater, and they wouldn't need much there.
Yeah, they can't do that. They're going to have to punt this ball away.
They will. Andy Lee comes out. Tell you, Kyler Murray has come back so strong, I think, in this game that you have to say they've got something special here, and this is just chapter 1.
Yeah, believe you me. I mean, to play the way this offense played through 3 quarters and not to lose your confidence, to continue to press on, that is impressive.
Back deep is Jamal Agnew. Already muffed one and turned it over today. This ball bounces and will be down by the Cardinals at around the 5-yard line by Trent Sherfield. Murray 29 of 54. Usually when you're throwing 54 passes, you're going to lose in this game. Isn't that the story? But they're even at this point. He's thrown a lot today, Mark.
Hey, rookie, you're in complete control of the huddle. You're in complete control of the line of scrimmage. Go out there and win it for us. We're going to let you sling it 54 times. I mean, it's a recipe to lose, Dick, and yet here we are in a tie ball game with just under a minute left to play in overtime.
Lions have 1 timeout left, starting from their 5. Stafford's pass, and it's caught by Hawkinson, the tight end. Will be short of a first down by 4 yards, but did not get out of bounds, so the clock continues to run. Second down and 3. 39 seconds, clock running. Pressure on Stafford. And he completes it to Amendola. But he stays in bounds as well.
What a mistake by Amendola.
He could have gone out of bounds easily and stopped the clock. And now finally the Lions are forced to call their last timeout.
You just don't see that from a veteran player. He lost sense of where he
Timeout
was.
in Detroit. That's their last timeout of overtime.
I mean, I can't even believe you would make that decision. Danny Amendola is a better and smarter football player than that. Why he cut back
Timer,
inside,
please
you get
reset
out of
the
bounds,
game
you
clock.
stop that clock and save your timeout.
Still, we got to go back to late in the game when the Lions on a screen pass had a first down that would have clinched the game with the Cardinals out of field goal or out of timeouts. And the Lions call a timeout right before the snap. Stafford didn't even realize it. That was the critical moment in the game as far as Detroit was concerned. .30 seconds left. First and 10 at the 24. Stafford going to go down inside the 15. And the clock cannot be stopped. Terrell Suggs. A new face, but an old face in the NFL.
Terrell Suggs off the edge right here. Look at it, avoids the chip, then just keeps working inside. Matthew Stafford trying to hold the ball to let his receivers get down the middle of the field. That's just great feel. Suggs just decides, you know what, I got chipped, it knocked me inside. I'm going to continue my path inside. I know the quarterback's got to push it down the field, so he's got to hold it for a minute longer. Leads to 3rd and 19.
With 11 seconds left. 11 seconds away from, it could be a tie game. And this pass nearly intercepted by Tremaine Brock. Brock had it in his hands, couldn't hold on, and now there are 5 seconds left.
I think that was a chance of the ball game. You hold on to that ball.
Get a field goal.
You got an opportunity for a field goal. Ball's outside. Looks like it was tipped by Zach Allen right through the hands. I mean, That's one where your eyes get big.
Yeah, look at the reaction by Kingsbury. You grab it, either run it in or step out of bounds, go for the 3 to win the game. So this could be the last play. And the whistle blows, and did I see Stafford clap his hands?
The ball being snapped, delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
The reaction is priceless on this dropped interception. Kirk and Murray can't believe what they just saw.
They're like, it's okay, fella. You know, we know you played DB for a reason, right? We moved you over there. Hands like feet on the sideline.
5 seconds left. Talk about prevent defense for the Cardinals. Stafford upfield and throws it away as time runs out, and this game ends up a tie.
That is the end of the game.
And if you would have told anyone that the Cardinals would come back to tie this game when they were down 24-6 in the 4th quarter, people would say impossible. That's the final score. Lions 27, Cardinals 27, and we'll be right back after this.